What's the word, everybody? Welcome to the Keep It Being podcast. I am your host, always gonna eat. We are live, baby. Welcome to another great episode. First and foremost, feel me, nice little Keep It Being hoodie on right now. On the mata, we got this beautiful works out of Hat Dreams from our guy Manny. Shout out to the people over at Hat Dreams. Today's episode is going to be an interesting one. Today's episode is going to be a beautiful one because, I know you guys would love to see the guest that we have today. But before we get into that, let me introduce my co host, the one, the only, Els. Welcome back, brother. How
What
you
up,
doing?
everybody?
What it do? What's
What
going
it do?
on?
What it do?
Oh, shoot. Man, what you got on the mata on today, brother?
Uh, I mean, digging in the duffel's back, right?
Ooh, ooh. Hey, for those that don't know, that's AMS right there. That's throwback AMS. You dig what I'm saying? Stop playing. Stop playing, man. That's a great one on the mata, man. But yeah, we're missing our third co-host. I don't know exactly where he might be, but nonetheless, today's episode is gonna be an interesting one. We're gonna bring somebody that is a person that has definitely is he's a curator in in the community. He's definitely one that has elevated the community, the game. He has in the community. He's definitely one that has elevated. Oh, I need to shut this down. Hold on. What am I doing? Sorry, fellas. But yeah, man, today's episode is gonna be interesting. Today's episode is gonna be lit. Y'all gonna learn something about this person. Um, because let's see right here. I fixed this layout. I don't know. I don't know what I did.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, there we go. Now we're talking. We're our third co-host right here, Mr. Rob. Add him to the stage. Come on, brother. How you doing today, man?
What's happening, people? Forgive me for being a little bit late there. We just have real life stuff to sort out. Everything all right? How's everyone doing?
Doing pretty
Chilling,
well,
bro.
bro. You already know, man. What you got on the mata on today, man?
So today I have the first ever hat by Catmaster Flash. Nice little Braves, camo UV, something,
Oh, he has a pin too.
Yeah. He's got a couple pin designs. He's got this. This is his first one here.
All right, so make sure you tell him when he touches down and on in New York soil. I need a few of them things.
I'll see what I can do. I know he's got some more designs coming up. But obviously, I have no idea what they look like as of yet. But he will update people soon. He has got some pins coming out and some designs. So so that's what I got on today.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir. That's beautiful, man. Love to see it. Putting on for the UK people. I love how y'all color coordinated almost. Y'all both got you got black brim, he got blue brim. I see y'all. I'll see y'all. Nah, yeah, man. But hey, first and foremost, let's get this going. No, shout out to our sponsor, Crown Clean. Hold on, let me do this right. Let me do this right for the people. Make sure you guys go over to Crown Clean. Crown Clean, you get 15% off when you use promo code Beam15. You feel me? You get a nice little brush in the pack. Hmm. You get a nice little brush in the pack. Soft bristle brush. You get a nice foam to it. You feel me? If you like the white guts in the on your mata, it does great for that. If you like to maintain your crowns clean and nice, make sure you use Crown Clean, number one hat cleaner in the industry right now. And as you see going down in the lane, promo code Beam15. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
He is.
Appreciate your Crown Clean.
always, man. But yeah, man, how you guys been feeling, man? I love to see how the battles have been coming back, bro. Right, what y'all think about the battles?
Bro, this weekend, if y'all didn't tune in to the two-parter of community battles hosted by Sneakerhead and Big Papa, that was absolutely insane. Then to follow up with Riot on Saturday night community battles, last night was nuts, bro. It was. I thought it was gonna go different directions, but people were just spazzing. Like, you can't go wrong with a nice pinup app, bro. Like,
Yeah, nah, for real, dog. For real. Look, hey, listen. Community battles on Friday was kind of crazy. It was a little tactical. We got to see one of the vets come out of retirement and battle another vet, and it was like a legendary time. For the people that haven't been around for the battle scene, Riot is a legend in pin battles, a legend in the pin world. And then Bones, as you guys know, he's the combo killer. He's also a legend in the pin world. And they came up to the stage and they put on a
Hey,
show, man. They put on a show. It was great to see. And then Riot was just on a run because he not only did he pack up Bones, then he went on and called out Weeple. And for those of you guys that don't know, Weeple was also another veteran in the battle scene, man. And
yeah,
Weeple, man, he packed all them guys up. But
yeah.
yeah, man, I
Weeble,
I, I
he's a
I love to.
combo killer too, man. His color coordination's always on par, bro.
Yeah,
Always.
nah, I liked the combo that he did. I like the pinup that he did, but
Yeah, the
just
two chains was gas. The two chains was gas. But
yo, he's not double chained up, all of that, man. That was great. That was great to see. I love to see the community battles back, and then as well as the community battles Saturday pinups, they just brought back digging in the duffel.
Yeah, that was an interesting experience firsthand for me. I stayed up to watch this one just to see what it was about, and it
Oh,
was
did you?
yeah.
yeah,
I was
Rob's
in.
been he's been popping into these battles and stuff, bro.
Yeah,
He be watching. He be
I'm
watching.
watching, man. I can't be part of the scene without showing support to the battles because combo battles. I may have, when it comes to shoes, I may have to step up. I may have to.
You might have to challenge somebody.
I may
Let
have
me
to pack
find
some.
out. Let me find out. Rob is gonna get in the battle scene.
I may have
Yo,
to
he
pack
gonna be
some.
dumb tired, just like
Yeah, but I may have to. I may have to pack some people up because if you look at my
oh,
Instagram page,
Oh,
you know I'm doing. You know
hey,
I'm posting
those are
them
battle words,
videos.
bro.
I'm telling you.
yeah, those are
Um,
definitely battle words. You better watch
Trust
out.
me.
There's people watching right now. They might want to call you out, Rob.
Let's do it. Let's
They
do it.
might they might want to call out the UK guys. They gonna be like, "What you gonna pull out? Some runners?"
I'll tell you now, man. We don't
They
do
don't
well.
know, Rob. But tell them, Rob. They don't know.
They,
Nah, man. But it
Rob
was
got
dope to
heat.
see. Freaking Max pulled up on there,
yeah, it was
and
great.
he went on a run. He went on a run. He literally didn't lose a step from back in the OG days
Yeah,
when digging in the duffel and battle scene
yeah,
where it's like heavy. He went over there and packed up 4 people.
yeah. The energy was great as well. Like it
Yeah,
was
man.
constant back to back to
Welcome
back
back
to
to Pin
back
It
to
Up.
back.
Then
It
CD,
was.
then CD came on there, and CD shook everybody up. Nobody wanted to step up. I was like, come on, man, don't be scared. And I was hoping that I was gonna be able to make it home. I was watching the WBC, man. I love how the WBC is going right now. So I had to make sure I watch my guys and support the Platano Power. You dig what I'm saying? Because
Of course.
listen, man, we taking it this year, baby. We taking it, and Japan just got kicked out. Japan just got kicked out by Venezuela, dog. Oh my god, I
Yeah,
love
I
to
think
see
with
it.
Japan out, you guys have a clean running to just take the whole thing.
I mean, tonight's game is about to be a really tough one because on the mound they got Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens is my guy. I'm an LSU fan, and Paul Skeens is from LSU. He's a freak of nature when it comes to pitching. And then you also have you know Team DR that is just straight like heat. Like I'm talking about these guys. I don't know. I think Paul Skeens might give up 3 runs today, a few hits, and he might get humbled, and he might realize like, all right, man, these guys ain't no joke. These guys are for real, for real. But it's Team USA versus DR today, and then also unfortunately Team Puerto Rico. Uh, their run came to an end against the Italians. They took extra espresso shots and ended and ended up taking out the Puerto Rico team. I mean, I'm proud of my Puerto Ricans though. I'm proud of my
Yeah,
Puerto
you
Rican
should.
team because I don't know what the blackmail was against Team Puerto Rico, man, but Even when we made it to the quarterfinals, we try to get a picture from the Blue Jays, and insurance, they didn't want to cover that, and it's like, dude, what y'all got against the Puerto Ricans, man? Like, let the Puerto Ricans get up there and show out like every other team is doing. Like, you had even Bad Bunny trying to make sure that these guys are able to get up there, and they was just not letting it happen. The Lindor situation made sense because Lindor, obviously, he just had a surgery. He's on track to come back for regular season. But, like, dude, man, Team Puerto Rico, they put up a fight though. They put up a great fight. But that Italian pitching is serious, man. That Italian pitcher was no joke, dude. But yeah, man, fellas, Rob, you want to
Yo.
tell you want to tell the people something special that you got coming in, what, 3 weeks?
Yeah. So, any of the people out there listening know that myself and a handful of collectors in the UK have been pushing as far as hard as we can to get the UK scene as noticed and as kind of like know that we want people to know that there are collectors all around the world. And so Cat Master Flash and myself are actually making a special trip over to New York next month. We'll be spending about a week there, and we're going to be meeting as many people as we can. So please, if you're in the area, or if you can even come down for a day or something like that, please do come down. Let's shake some hands. Yeah, let's make some content. Let's get some food, and generally come meet people from across the pond, man, and just kind of show them that that hats goes beyond just hats. Friends. My two of my close friends here on the podcast with me. I'll be meeting. They're the ones that introduced me to the podcast stuff, and obviously you got Caps Lock Pod in the chat there. I see. Make sure you check out that podcast as well. He's got some good episodes coming up. He's coming out. Illis Curves will be joining as well, and a few other people.
Philly
Yeah,
guys, we got Philly guys,
exactly.
Yankee guys. I might not even shake hands with Cops. He a Yankee fan, so I ain't gonna shake hands with a Yankee fan. I give you a fist
Uh,
bump.
so
Baseball season's
yeah,
right around the corner. Rivalry is here, baby. The rivalry is definitely here. Yeah, nah, but
yeah,
I'm very excited for you to come out here, man. It's gonna be good vibes. I'm hoping that you get as much as you want out of this trip. And
yeah.
for
Of
everybody, and for
course.
everybody, for everybody that's watching, yo, please pop out. Let's make this a very memorable thing. Because the last time, Rob, how long has it been since you came out here?
I must have been about 18 years old. So it is literally about 14, 15 years ago was the last time that I was over
Damn.
there in New York.
He's old head.
I'm an old man. But yeah, no, it was a long time ago, man. And it was, I wasn't into I was into fitted hats. If you knew my story, I was rocking fake fitted hats at that
Yeah, he was
time.
copying the fake ones on Canal Street.
Chinatown. He was buying the
Trust me,
Chinatown ones.
I was rocking fake fitted hats, unbeknownst to me, in my naive days. Um, but yeah, so this time around, there's a lot more that I need to kind of do and kind of say and meet people. So let's do this.
I'm
Yeah, man.
excited,
It's
bro.
gonna,
We're gonna
I'm
be
I'm
gas.
super excited. I want to make this as memorable as possible. But as well as you guys coming over here, we're also gonna have like a special episode that I feel like is long overdue, and I'm glad that it's gonna be while you're out here. We're gonna be doing the tour of Mr. King of Crowns. We're gonna be doing the tour with King of Crowns showing
Motherfucking
up.
head, go.
I got the fire, Washington
Yeah,
Wizards.
the energy
You
of that
know?
I
man
love that
is.
guy. I love
I've been t- I've been told his energy is just like that in real life. I've
Oh
been
yeah,
told
oh
that
yeah, bro. I could tell
that
you,
video is not. It's his video and his online persona and his real life are the exact same.
it doesn't
Like
change. It
I
doesn't
can't wait.
change. It does not change.
That's
I love to
passion.
see it, man. It's gonna be really dope. That episode, I can't wait for us to shoot that. That's gonna be very long. It's gonna take some time. Um, I hope to be able to make it to a game. to one of the games with y'all. I probably won't go to the Yankee Stadium because honestly, the new Yankee Stadium, I hate the new Yankee Stadium. I love the old one. Like I went to plenty. I've been to more Yankee games than Mets games, believe it or not.
Yeah.
At least on
See
the
a
new
Yankee
stadiums.
fan.
He said took the cream crowns from my hood to or some good that was some good water. Yeah, right. Yeah, nah, but yeah, nah, bro. The new Yankee Stadium, I don't know. I don't like the new Yankee Stadium. It's kind of Mets game that is.
Yeah, we got. So speaking of Catho, basically talking to Cap today. We were also going to go to a Knicks game. However, with their recent performance, the prices of tickets have skyrocketed.
Yeah, it's
You
playoff
know,
season.
yeah, they're doing. Yeah, they're doing what. So unfortunately, it is impossible for us to grab those. However, we will be hitting up a Mets game. We're going to be hitting up a Rangers game. A Rangers game is confirmed as well. We're going to go to a hockey game while out there, and we're also going to go to a Yankees. So we're going to do as much as we can, get the full New York experience. I'll be there filming the whole thing, and
I lie to you now, brother. I'm so disappointed in my Rangers, bro. I'm so disappointed. I don't even care for the rest of the season, especially. Well, I stopped caring once the trade happened with Panarin. Once the trade happened, I really didn't give two shits about it. I really
Yeah,
didn't
they
care,
win with him, and then they.
bro. He's the lead. He was the leading scorer for 2 seasons, bro.
This happens. This
But
happens.
yo, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna try to do the my best Shannon Sharp right now. You know, this individual is a curator, a person that has elevated the game. He has been featured on GQ. You may have seen him on XXL magazine. You may have seen him on stage, rocking stages on the mic. And if you didn't know, you're about to learn today. This person is a voice for the community. This person is definitely one that that continues to elevate the game, push the game forward, and he tells you how it is. He's playing no games. We have none other than my brother, Mr. Yesus. Yesus, how you doing today, brother?
Yo,
You said G. Yeah, like, listen, I've done some cool things in my life, but that was kind of cool. I don't think anyone's ever kind of put it that way. I really have been in GQ. That's kind of fine. I'm not gonna
Yes,
hold you.
not once, but twice. Not once, but twice. The second. Well, was it GQ or was it the New York Post that you was featured on with the Hat Club stuff?
Oh no,
Uh,
that was double XL was twice.
yeah.
I
Oh
can
yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah,
double
yeah.
XL
Right,
was
right, right,
twice.
right.
I've
Yes,
been
sir.
featured in double XL for 2 of my lives. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, no, GQ was just one time. But I'm very grateful for my one time. You know what I mean? That
Yes,
wasn't
sir.
even
Yes,
supposed to
sir.
happen. It was just kind of like
Yo,
my life.
matter of fact, let me do this like this before I even give you any questions or any of that. Brother, would you mind doing me a favor and pull up the picture so the people see that there's credentials behind this
Oh
for the
shit.
people to see that
I
our
don't know
brother
where
right
that
here.
picture is, brother. I'm not gonna hold you. That shit so
Oh
far.
no, 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 not that one,
Oh
not
wait.
that one.
Oh, you got pictures. Shit, I
Right
don't got
here.
no pictures.
we
That's me. Yeah.
Yes,
that's
sir. Yes,
this
sir. We
is
feature on GQ. Listen, man, when we say right here, listen, this man is definitely one who moves the needle in the community. Like, bro, the man's been around. The man has lived multiple lives, bro, and he has listen the all the credential to be a critic, a needle mover, man. Like, look at this, bro. Come on now, look at Yeezus, young Yeezus, skinny Yeezus.
Listen, I'm not fat Yeezus yet. I'm just a little thicker Yeezus right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, I'm not gonna lie though. I'm not gonna lie though. Compared to how you were, bro, tú tienes la barriguita. You feel me?
No,
You
I was a
got look.
skinny fuck for sure. I've been a skinny fuck my whole life. You know what I mean? I was, you know what I mean? You know how it is in our culture, if you don't eat enough growing up, you know what I mean? You get teased a lot for you know what I mean? It's like it's almost better to have meat on your bones. And
hell
so
That's a
yeah,
fact. That's
hell
a
yeah.
fact.
That's what it is. It's always better to enjoy your food. That skinny stuff overrated,
yeah, you know
overrated.
what I
But
mean? I try to
yeah,
stay healthy thick, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Now you got some good weight. You don't got sloth. You know, you're not like like a mohong. You know, you
Not yet, you
hey
know what I
definitely.
mean?
yo,
We're working on it.
He said we're working on it. Nah, man. But yeah, bro. You know, I gave you a nice little intro. I hope I did you good. You feel me? But introduce yourself to the people.
Yeah, I mean, I'm Yesus, you know what I mean, from many different communities, but right now from the hack community, yeah, you know what I mean, and Yeah, I'm just here to chop it up with some great guys real quick. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is my first time actually chopping it up with Ills and Robsta. So nice to formally meet y'all. You know what I mean? Like, and
I
yeah,
was
I'm
at the
just here to
pop
talk
up.
some
I was
shit.
at the Pro Society pop up. We
Okay,
brushed
yes.
shoulders,
Listen,
but
I'm really
appreciate
bad
you.
with faces. I'm better with names sometimes, you know what I mean? It might take me like once or twice of meeting people before I can really like lock in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know what I
I
mean?
also be on your whatnot streams as well on community.
Do you?
Yeah.
That's fire.
The
You know what
last
I
thing
mean?
I bought from you was actually the Tommy Lee clown.
Okay, there you go. Listen, a
Yeah.
lot of people be like moonlighting on whatnot with different account like names and shit. So I'd be like, I'm just Yesus everywhere I go. So it's like I'm pretty easy to pinpoint. But then I feel like a lot of y'all be knowing like what's going on because the whatnot community is like a little. That's a whole nother story. They're a lot different of a community than what we have on this side. So I feel like
Yeah,
whenever I encounter somebody in that community that knows what's going on, I can tell based on like what they choose hat wise or pin wise. Like then I'm like, oh shit, like who are you and where you from? You know what I mean? Like state your name, motherfucker.
why
'Cause
you using a
I
fake
know you
name right
around.
now?
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, nah, that's fine. Nah, yeah, we definitely, I definitely be checking you out on the whatnot as well, bro. Because like on the whatnot, you be snapping on some people. Some people be on there just doing too much, and like I think it was I want to say a few weeks ago, you snapped on somebody because he just kept asking the same question over and over and over and over and over and over, and you just had to like, yo, you be giving people a lot of chances, and the people just they can't help themselves, and they just over and over, and you had to snap it like, yo, bro, I'm gonna get to it, my nigga. If you don't want to
Listen,
be on here,
Yeah,
get the fuck out, bro.
the words were either kick rocks or eat a dick. Maybe the show ain't for you. It was one of those. It was
that's
one of those.
possible. That sounds
But
a lot
I
like
was like,
me
yo,
sometimes.
that's hilarious. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
nah, man. I love to see it. Love to see it. But yo, let's get right to it, man. I'm gonna kick it off. Before the hot battles, before the hot battles, before the hotties, before everything. Who was Jesus and B.I.C?
I mean, like, listen, this is like it's loaded because I think that this all kind of came about like kind of fresh out of high school almost, you know what I mean? Like I think once I got out of high school, I started like finding what I was going to spend most of my time doing. I think in college we get a lot more free time than we usually have through our high school days. So I figured out like what I was going to spend my time fucking with, which most of it was like kind of sneaker related stuff. I was on Nike Talk a lot and in style shoes, ISS forums and whatnot, just kind of reading up, doing the what did you wear today's and shit like that, MySpacing pretty hard and just connecting with a lot of people all over New York City. And that was more like sneaker community stuff. We were going to like sold outs at that time and fucking Dunk Exchange and all the little sneaker events where people would kind of post up with their tables and we buy,
Great
sell, trade,
times.
collect, and whatnot. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how I found my bros through B.I.C. You know what I mean? Like, and we kind of connected through sneakers and just the sneaker world. And one day we were just kind of in the crib, and like one of us had rapped. I think somebody I went to college with, my friend Jose, say a word, one of my best friends growing up. We went to Lehman College together, and like one day after class, like we like linked up and fucking he was like, yo, did you know that like our boy Elvis raps? Like, and I was like, nah. Like, and so he showed me like this guy's MySpace page, and the shit was like fucking, he was rapping over like reggaeton beats, but the shit was fire. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like, damn, this shit is hard. He's kind of talented. Like, what, why he don't do this no more? So then it became like a thing where everywhere we went, like we would make him rap for people and shit. And then eventually, like him and Jose, like were both making music, and so like they kind of just started making music together. And we were in the crib, and it was just like, yo, like you wanna jump on some shit real quick? And I was like, I tried to rap when I was younger, you know what I mean? Like I thought I was
Yeah.
doing something. I listened to like the Eminem and Dr. Dre album, and
I
I was
feel
like,
like
yo,
every
I
New
could do
Yorker
this.
has
Like,
to tries to rap at least once, you know?
listen, I put together a little verse. That shit was ass. I was like, I suck at this. I'm not doing it no more. And then I never did it again for a while. And then we started doing it. And I think it was just like a fun thing we were doing with our friends. And after a while, it was like, yo, like somebody asked me, like, oh, are y'all gonna try to get like signed with this? And I was like, you think we could get signed? Like, like
If
I was just
somebody's
fucking
asking the
around.
question, you gotta be good.
That shit lit a light bulb in my head. So I was like, you know, I never like thought about that, but like I don't know, maybe. So we just started like doing shows, doing songs, and like cultivated that over the course of many years. And I just realized I love creating things. You feel me? Like anytime I was creating something, it put me in a good space. And like that was just another opportunity to create things. And so like we went on that super long journey, and I was just a kid trying to like I thought I was really following my calling. You know what I mean? I felt like at that time, like everything in my life had kind of led me to like I grew up in music, and so like I
Yeah.
thought like music was really going to be the thing for me. And I just hated the music industry. I mean, as we got further and deeper into the music industry, it just sucked. You know what I mean? I think they took a lot of the joy out of the things that I love creating. And so like once it became like a business, it got really annoying. And you know what I mean? We I feel like you meet a lot of people that you like thought you looked up to, and then you're like, damn, this person kind of sucks, and like
You
this
feel like
person's
a
an
piece of shit.
asshole, and
Yep.
like this person really wants to take advantage of me, and like you say no to deals that feel very unfair. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah.
eventually you just find yourself in a space where I wasn't really happy doing that shit no more. You know what I mean? So I always feel like I'll go back eventually and pursue my music vibes, because that shit never goes away, but just in a different way, in a way where it's not like fucking something that I'm clinging on to for my livelihood as a
Yeah.
starving artist and a kid. You know what I mean? Just like running around trying to make shit happen. But we did a lot of cool things, and you know what I mean? We learned a lot, and that's a huge part of like my 20s and my early 30s. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
now
so
for
like
sure. Hey, brother, can you pull up the stage picture real quick? Because you definitely rock. Y'all did y'all things. So for
yeah, no, I mean we were
fun fact, right? I think I texted it over to you, right? So fun fact. So I lived in Florida when you guys was making music, and I was getting into like the underground scene, and I manage artists over there and everything. And I would always be one to look for music that was different, right? And recently I decided to download the SoundCloud again, and I'm scrolling through like the music that I'm listening to and everything. And I'm listening to this one song, and I'm like, yo, why does this person's voice sound so familiar? So familiar, right? I'm like, I'm scrolling, and you know how the algorithm works and the microphones and stuff. And then, a few hours later, I get on Instagram, and I'm scrolling, and B.I.C comes up, and I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even know they had an Instagram. Hold on. I start doom scrolling on the VIC, and I see the face, and I'm like, nah, you gotta be fucking shitting me right now. Is this really Jesus right here? So I knew about your music without even knowing you, and like full circle comes around, like now you in the hot space, and I'm like, yo, that it's just fucking crazy how it all comes about. So but yeah, bro,
you are
definitely.
not the first person to have that fucking revelation on me. You know what I mean? Where I'm just kind of having a conversation and they like, yo, you know what? You look mad familiar. Like, you ever rap before? And I'm just like, yeah, that's me in the music video, bruv. You know what I mean? Like, and a lot of that shit is polarizing. We did a lot of crazy shit at that time. If you know, you know. If you look up the
Yeah.
videos and shit, we were young. We were doing a lot of fuck shit. You know what I mean? But yeah,
a
it
lot
was
of underground a lot of underground vibes, you feel me? A lot of underground vibes, but those was different type of times, man. You
no
just
for
you just had
sure.
to be there. You had to be there to enjoy those times, man. Like
Oh yeah,
that
this
was
particular picture is a Fool's Gold Day Off. So we did Fool's Gold Day Off over here. We started kind of like just traveling with the band at that point. We did Fool's Gold Day Off in Miami and LA as well. But that's probably some of the bigger crowds we've ever been in front of. There was thousands of people there that day. You know what I mean? That
oh
shit
man, and
was
y'all was rocking shit,
oh
man.
yeah,
y'all
I
was
no.
got
y'all was going
one
crazy too.
question. One question I got from here, the sneakerhead in me. What's on feet there? Are they? They're not cement threes, are they?
Black cement threes, yeah, just
They
black cement threes.
are.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
with the
okay.
100
Yeah,
shorts.
Yeah, on some
Yeah,
yeah.
awesome like hat shit, you know what I mean? Like back then even, that was like 2000. I want to say this is like 2015 or 16 maybe. I
yeah,
had the
15,
fucking
15.
I had the fucking Spike Lee 96 New Era collab Yankee with the all red joint with the satin guts on the inside with the extraness. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I was
Yo,
doing it
man.
back then still.
Yes,
Tell you
sir.
what, that's
Oh man, listen, man, and it's just like I said, bro. It just goes back to like you definitely have been a super creative person, and like it's crazy to see you in so many different spaces, and like it really speaks to like what you said. Like you said that being a creator, that's what moves you, right? And so like seeing this and to where you at now, to the level that you at now, it's like damn, bro. Like you definitely can't let it go. But I would love to see you back on the mic because I must say, like lyric wise, you probably thought that you wasn't as great, but like lyric wise, you were my favorite one in the group because you actually had good wordplay and everything. I was like, yeah, bro. So yeah, bro, for sure,
Oh
definitely
no,
step.
I am 100% standing on the fact that I was a super talented rapper. I could do that shit. There's one thing about me. It's like usually if I put my mind to some shit, I could get really good at it. It might take a little
Nice.
second, and I'm
Yeah.
like, that is a frustrating. Like I'm not so good at the like in between. You know what I mean? From being bad to getting good. But if I really take my sweet ass time with that shit, I could get good at most things. And so like this is just something where like we definitely started out ass. You know what I mean? And like a lot of people didn't hear us when it was ass, but like eventually through cultivating, you know what I mean, doing that shit every day and repetition, I think anybody could get really good at music. It's just one of those things where it's like a math problem almost. You know what I mean? Like, and if
Yeah,
you do it enough times, you get it.
that's such a great way to think about anything in general, really, not just music. You know, the fact of you may start off not being amazing at something, but you just put effort into doing something and you could turn into something great. And I'm pretty sure going back to hats, as we, you know, naturally do, I'm pretty sure there's people that do mock-ups out there. Their first mock-ups were the worst things they've ever seen, and now these people do kind of professional mock-ups and they do multiple hat designs and things. It's like me with videography. You know, I was awful at filming. You know, my hands were shaky. I kept dropping the camera, and now, you know, like they're getting better at taking photos or videos and things like that. That's such a good way to kind of something that people need to remember, that just because you're bad at the beginning doesn't mean that the end result is always going to be the same. You know, that's
100%. I think a lot of people in this community need to hear that because they get wrapped up in the fact that like they just want to fucking jump the line on everything. And that's
exactly.
not how things work. You know what I mean? Sometimes a lot of the people that you've seen, like I word this a lot in a lot of my lives sometimes. It's like a lot of the people that you see that people think kind of just like showed up here and got popping, like really put in pain to get their spot. You know what I mean? Like it's like Wilder Fitteds doesn't get here without making his first TikTok video. You know what I mean? And your first
Exactly
TikTok
that.
video isn't always the greatest video. And same
and
goes with
and,
the
and,
Bonnie
and
Fitteds. You know what I mean? Like,
yo, dumb Jones, like that. So it was Wilder and Ronnie that they kicked off the whole making TikTok videos, how to curve a brim and things like that. Look at where he's at now. It took time. Like what he's been on that chair now, what 2-3 years now, right?
yeah.
Yeah, so you know it takes time, but to go right to the from rocking the stage and everything, you know, being a trendsetter. I wanna show another picture as to, because you was also very well known for rocking a blue KC two-tone as well,
Yeah.
and so like, oh, now this one is this one right here, this one right here, like moving the needle right here. Like this is a legendary right here, you know. RIP to to your homie on this picture and everything. But as you see, if you look at the picture, if you look at the whole layout right here, there's a lot of KC hats that comes really, I want to say that really comes from you. I feel like you started that whole movement right there.
Well, this specifically comes from shout out to my brother that passed away, 21 years old. You know what I mean? Passed away. His name was Kyle Caraballo. So that's where the KC actually came from. We started wearing KC hats just to honor his memory. You know what I mean? Like, and so like that was like a block thing where everybody like, and it just so happened that when he passed away, like the Kansas City Royals ended up in the World Series. Like there just was an influx of a lot more Royals hats. And so like me personally, I just so happened to go get the two-tone because I'm like that. You know what I mean? Like I felt like I
Yeah,
needed the black with the black brim and the gray bottom version. You know what I mean? So I was just
yeah,
doing a lot. But we were all rocking KC hats in honor of my bro. So like, you know what I mean? It was either that or he was a Mets fan. So either that or a Mets hat. You know what I mean? And so
yeah.
when they played in the World Series, that was something that kind of stayed close to us and whatnot.
And,
So that was
and
just
said,
kind of like to show love because the music video was in honor of him. So that's where the picture came from. But yeah, I've
yeah,
been had that shit on for sure. You know what I mean?
yeah, nah.
I've been knowing.
Been knowing, not from the sneaker games to the hat games and everything, right? So like, to go to the next one, I like moving forward, right? When you realize that like it goes more than just sneakers and just like collecting hats. When did you realize that like, oh shit, like I can actually start doing something right here?
I mean, like that. It just kind of happened for us, I guess. You know, what I mean, I think a lot of the people. That's what a lot of people don't really realize. I think if you just got into this community like a year ago, like you see what it is and how it's kind of like set up, and like it's like okay, these guys are making hats. This person's popping. Like these people have relationships with this store. Like oh, they're like this should just kind of happen. You know what I mean? Like and like it really just kind of like the people that are in the positions that they're in he just kind of fell into it. Like we were doing the battles, you know what I mean? And so like the battles was the thing. The way I ever thought that I never even thought about creating a hat, to be honest. Like at first we were just buying hats. I got into the community because I really wanted every color Yankee hat. And I was like, yo, if I could just get like we were already buying hats. Like I've been wearing hats my whole life pretty much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I love the fitted hat. I would get fitted hats for fucking Christmas, literally wrapped up for Christmas when I was like 9 or 10, because that's just the shit that they knew I liked. And so like fucking back going back to like I feel like 2017 or 2018, we would like even with the gray bottom Yankee, like it was just like finding all the gray bottom Yankees. Like New Era had a store right on like 8th Street in NoHo, like before Hat Club actually moved to NoHo when they were still on Mercer, and they were doing like a lot of fucking just gray bottom Yankees with just like different colors. Like I bought like a royal blue with like the 2000 World Series patch, or it'd be like
That's
a
when they had the
fucking
big ass sticker across the mata.
after that, you know what I mean? It was past that, you know what I mean? Like I think that was more like 2012 type shit. This is past that, you know what I mean? We were back to regular stickers at this point. It was just like they had just started customizing like gray bottoms, you know what I mean? Like with
Mm,
patches. It just became
yeah.
like a kind of thing where it was like, okay, now we obviously we always had like the navy Yankee with all the patches, but now we could get a royal blue one, or you could get like a baby blue one, or like a green one. And it was like, okay, like this is different. And
Now
so
there's
like that
flavors.
that kind of opened me up to like, okay, like I want to get all the color Yankee hats. I love wearing Yankee hats with my fits. So if I could get every color to match with everything I got, then we lit. You know what I mean? Like, so that's kind of how I even came into the like buying hats. And so like when we were fucking doing the battles, it became a thing where like after I had already won the battles, I think it was the next season over. Nadi like brought us up on the live and was just kind of like, yo, so like I just want to let y'all know that whoever wins this next season, because I had won season 3 in battle season, so he was like,
Yes,
"Yo,
sir.
whoever wins this next season is gonna join up with the people that won season 1, 2, and 3 and make a pack together." And he brought PBJ up to the live, and he was like, "Oh, y'all gonna make a pack with Hat Club?" And I was like, "Okay, like that's tight." Like
Bad.
I
You
like at
was
that
like
point, it was only
bad.
like fucking like Billy had made hats like with Hat Club like early 2019, 20. Frosty obviously was the first of the bunch. You know what I mean? Like you had
Yeah.
J Tips, T Mark, and then like Rushmore had just started making hats. Like it was maybe their first pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so like
so sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. So you say these people fell into it, but realistically, you guys have
Oh
been
damn!
putting
I didn't
in
even have the
work
picture up there.
for the longest time before. It wasn't just you fell into it on a random thing. It was more like you guys have shown mass interest and consistent interest for an extended period of time before you got that opportunity. You didn't just kind of, hey, I'm going to make a hat out of nowhere. It was like,
yes, that is super accurate. I mean, even like Rushmore kind of came about because they were the first people online for all of the hats when they first started dropping. When the pink bottoms first dropped, if you went to a line, you would see Noho Nadi and you'd see fucking Blue Brims and you see Tab. And so
Yeah.
like those were the people that were at the front of the line when the drops first started. And so
yeah,
like naturally, you know what I mean, through showing support and being the people at the front of the line, when COVID happened and the store closed, they maintained that relationship. You know what I mean? And so when Just was on live giving out raffles and invoices and all that shit, they ended up getting those, you know what I mean? And then NoHo reopened and they were basically built into the culture through the meetups and the pins and all that by
yeah,
that point. And so like when it came time to make hats, like they got the name Rushmore because they were the first motherfuckers there. You feel me? Like it's
yeah,
not like they were better than everybody. It's just that they were the first, like it's like the forefathers of the shit. You know what I mean? Like they were the
Yeah.
first motherfuckers at the front of the line. And in order for this community to progress, there needs to be a constant evolution of that. So there needs to be
absolutely.
the new people that are at the front of the line and new people that are buying every fucking hat and like the new people that are making content. You know what I mean? Like and so like that was just they just so happened to be early and they had all of the hats. So by the time Rushmore made a hat, they all had 1,000 Hat Club hats. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
didn't
Now
just get a Hat
facts.
Club collaboration.
Wow.
They spent money. Like, you know what I mean? There was brand loyalty there. There was friendships that were assembled. You know what I mean? Like before any of that hat, before I had a Hat Club hat, I had 800 Hat Club hats. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it didn't just like so yeah, like
you
exactly.
you you actually answered my third question, which was like, what was the turning point, right? So I'm gonna skip that one, and I'm gonna go to, so what was the inspiration of bringing Rookie of the Year? Because you also like from the crazy run that you had in the battle season, because you had a crazy ass run in battle season. Like for those that know and been around and been around in the community, Jesus had a run where he was just tearing shit. Like I'm talking about, this man was just like you couldn't go against the man, and obviously he ended up winning that season. Like you went on a run. But so what brought the inspiration behind Rookie of the Year?
So I think at first, like the battles were just like essential content for hats for us. Like we were locked inside the crib when we all found out about this shit mostly. Yeah, I mean, like a lot of us maybe have found out about it just before COVID. Like I was kind of just before COVID baby. Like I was going to the first like the last few drops before the store closed. I think I got like 2 or 3 drops in before COVID hit in March 2020 and the store closed. And that's kind of what brought all of the hype to Hat Club, because Hat Club NoHo was dropping like 36 hats per style. And so it went from like a hat that was dropping just at NoHo where like 50 people might line up and some people might miss and whatnot, to and like some people might be reselling those hats, to those hats. Then the stock from NoHo went online and it became fucking 36 hats for 50 states. You know what I mean? And that's where the panic began. And it was like, oh shit, like we are all fighting for these hats. You know what I mean? And it's selling out in 1 minute, and it was really hard to get. And so like that, like with that chase, it became like, you know what I mean, we're kind of all sitting in the crib, like the Instagram live started, and then before you knew it, it was like Nadi was just bored one day and it was like, yo, we're gonna do battles. Like who wanna jump up and show a clip of hats? You know what I mean? Like, and whoever got the best clip wins. And it just kind of started like that. And as soon as I saw the battles pop up on my Instagram feed, I was like, yo, they doing it was like an like we were finding out about shit in real time. So it was like at first it was like, yo, Lonnie hit the group chat and he's like, yo, they making pink bottom hats. And I was like, oh, that's whack as shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, I only want gray bottoms. You know what I mean? I don't want no fucking
Yeah.
pink bottom. That's corny. And then like it was like 2 weeks later, it was like, yo, the lines are crazy for the pink bottoms. They selling out. These shits are reselling. And then some of
Yeah.
my friends was like, oh, they reselling. Like now I'm listening. You feel me? How much they reselling for? Yeah, I'll pop out for a pink bottom. And then it became like a lot of my friends just wanted to resell the hats. You know what I mean? And I was just kind of like, okay, well, I still don't really want the pink bottoms. You know what I mean? And then it became like, yo, like now they're selling the hats. And I was like, yo, there's hat battles. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, there's hat battles. Like I tuned into the hat battles. I started seeing people show hats. I'm like, yo, I got all these fucking hats. Like I could do this shit. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I didn't even know this shit was like this. I know they're hard to buy, but I didn't know what people were hyping and what was what. So I started seeing the battles. I'm like, oh shit, like I could do this. I like watched for a season and I was like, yo, next season I'm in here. And so we did the battles. You know what I mean? Like I obviously like I crushed it. Like I definitely wanted to bring some kind of entertainment value to that and just kind of like enjoy it and have fun with it. So I've really brought my shit talking cap and I did what I could with it and we took it to the next level and like people started really like getting into the battles. And at that point it was like there was a battle show for everything. There was fucking everybody had a show. Chuck had fucking NoHo at Night with Ash and they would go on and spin the wheel, and then Saucy had Digging in the Duffel, and Sneaker Fiend Day had the F&F battles. It was 2-on-2s, and I did that right after I won King of the KOC. We did 2-on-2
KOC.
battles, and Kyle was my partner, and me and Kyle won the 2-on-2 battles. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
beat Bones and Heartbreak Brims. You feel me? That's legend right there. You know what I mean, that's when Bones
Legendary.
first started the buy what you like movement. Like Bones was the first motherfucker to jump into a battle and show a non-Hat Club hat. And he changed the whole game. You know what I mean? Like after
Yeah.
that, everybody was like, yo, you know what? It was really only Hat Club hats in those battles. Like people would show other shit, but you wouldn't win. You know what I mean? There was no winning without
Yeah.
Hat Club hats. You know what I mean? That was the hype at that moment. And so like Bones was the first motherfucker to come through with some My Fitteds or some like ECAP City or some fucking exclusive fitteds and be like, I don't care if I lose, I'm gonna show this shit. You know what I mean? It's the shit I like. And people
So
would be like, yo, that's hard. He put us on.
Yeah, that's interesting that it was only Hat Club hats because that was the hype at the time. It reminds me of old school sneaker battle days. I say old school. It was back when Off-White, the original 10, came out, and we had a few battles over here in the UK. And people would show like a Chicago Off-White Jordan 1, and they would win because people would show like a Tiffany Dunk, but people didn't really know what a Tiffany Dunk was, but they would lose to an Off-White Chicago. And I'm just like, what? But then people started showing history and things like that and then it obviously just changed the tide on a battle. And it's interesting to see that Hat Club was originally obviously the hype, and then obviously you saw other stores. What were the other stores that you would see come through in that type of thing? What were the other ones that got their big mention in the battles?
It was really just like a My Fitted sprinkle here and there. You know what I mean? Like a My Fitted sprinkle definitely here and there. and then you like it would be like some random shit, like maybe like a Toppers, like when Toppers was still in Europe and not in the
Yeah.
United States yet. Like a Toppers might come through because it'd be like, yo, this is overseas shit or something. You know what I mean? Like
That's
it
how they
would
would
be
hype it
like
up in the battles. They'll be like, "Yo, this is
there would
from the
have to be a
UK."
hat. Yeah, there would have to be a hat that everybody like universe. There were usually like because at first it was a very hat club centric community. There would be like hat club or you would dub. That was really like a
Yeah.
saying that like Billy made up that everybody would follow. And so like everybody would really resent like pinkies from like other stores. You know what I mean? So
Wow.
Pinkies.
there were pinkies and ices. And so there was like a very clear split in the community between like I would say like the fitted mafia, like Facebook, like kind of views from the vault side of the community that was buying hats from everywhere and trying to let you know that like they don't care about that shit, and like us that were like more on the young hype side of things that were just like hat club centric at first. You know what I mean? And so like there was a clear division in the community at that point of like, okay,
Okay.
like there's a line, you know what I mean? And like some people cross it and some people don't. But there were certain hats that would come out at stores that certain influencers or people might champion that like if a few people got behind the hat, like it would create hype behind it. And everybody was sheepish back then. I'm not gonna hold you. So it really didn't take that much, but like 10 motherfuckers that had a little bit of influence to be like, yo, that hat, I need that hat. ISO that hat, and then out of nowhere it became like a hype hat, and then before you know it, it would be a battle hat. But
Yeah, I
like, yeah,
remember
so
we used to call those finkies. If it wasn't from Hat Club, it was like you better
yeah, they
not
would
be
call
hat.
them Finkies and Feisties for real,
Yeah,
like fake,
Pisces,
fake
yeah,
Pinky, like
yeah.
Pinky. You know what I mean? Like so,
Pinkies and
fucking.
Pisces, yeah. Oh man, legendary, bro.
So yeah, there was
Oh,
a lot of like different battle content at that time, and so like there was just really nothing. It felt like the No Honati battle season shit became like something where it was like the big leagues of battles. It felt like, you know what I mean? And so like there were other people. Shouts to Play by Play Ray. He had his own battle situation. You know what I mean?
oh
Called
yeah,
the
he
We
sure
Outside
did.
Battle League. That shit was fire as well. You know what I mean? Like so it just became like where people felt like they couldn't get on certain platforms if they didn't have like certain levels of a collection. You know what I mean? And so like it was like scaring people away. And that's where we were just kind of like, yo, what if we did some shit that you didn't have to have a million hats to join. You know what I mean? It could just be for the newer people joining the community. Because at that point, there was so many people joining at such a rapid rate that it was like we
Yeah,
were seeing new people in the community every day. Somebody was finding out about the community, and a lot of people would just jump. There were at that point, everybody would go live at any point in the night. It could be Capo would go live at fucking 9:30, and out of
yo,
nowhere, like there's battles going on. You know what I mean? It's
yo,
like,
that's
yo,
a
Ma, get the
fact,
broom.
bro.
You know what I mean? Like, and so like it was a lot of people just hosting battles on their own lives independently. And like
Yeah,
we started seeing like, yo, there's a lane for like a bunch of people that are just brand new in this shit to just start battling. And so like we kind of gathered the people that had won KOC and Saucy, and we're just like, yo, what if because Saucy, there was all originally a rookie of the year, like that they tried to put together basically, where like I think it was Saucy versus fucking I forget who it was. It was Saucy versus somebody. Fuck, I'm trying to remember now in my head. Saucy versus some guy. Fucking. Damn, what was his fucking name? I'm losing his name in
I'm
my head. Anyways, Saucy versus somebody else, and they did their own like rookie of the year because they was like just talking shit back and forth about who they thought was like the person that came in the game the hottest that year. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so like being that Saucy was like the first inaugural rookie of the year, you could say, like we brought him in as a judge, and so like we were just like, yo, let's do something that like you don't have to have a million hats to join. And so that's how Rookie of the Year came about. And it went really well. It was something that a lot of people were receptive to because they felt like, well, it's finally something that I could be a part of. You know what I mean? It's not a lot of pressure to like have all of these kinds of hats. But then it turned up. Like the motherfuckers were showing the same level of hats that people
Same
were showing in
pressure,
battle
yeah.
season. You know what I mean? It really there wasn't much of a drop off in the amount in like the level of quality in the battles. And so yeah, that was just something that we wanted to do for the community. It's like a long lineage of things that we just tried to do, that we threw shit at the wall and see if it stuck for the community. You know what I mean? Like really.
It definitely stuck because I definitely catch myself every now and again going back and watching some of the old lives. Obviously, like now that we can speed up the thing, I'll speed it up to like watch the hats come out and like it's. I wish. I mean, I'm loving the way it's going right now because I see a lot of battles coming up. So like there's Friday night community battles. You got Saturday night pinups. You have multiple different battles popping up nowadays. And I love to see it. Digging the Duffel is back. They just happened Friday. Max came on there and just like he never left. He just pulled out pause. He came out with a bunch of stuff that it was like, damn, bro, like you still got that job? It's crazy. I love to see it. So I do want to ask. Is there? I know schedules can be busy and everything, but is there a possibility to where like the community is kind of like growing back to that same pace? Is there a possibility that we might get a rookie of the year again?
I mean, we'll see. We talked about it like we took like a year where it was just like it feels like it's kind of dead for right now. You know what I mean? Like maybe we should like give it some breath. And then Saucy was just kind of like, yo, yeah, I want to do another one. And I was just like, I don't know. Like, and it came to a point where it was like this year, I think I started realizing through really through the Hatties, I think I kind of realize every year and like through the Hattie year stuff that there are so many like new people in the community that I'm like super unaware of. Like I don't really realize how many people kind of are coming about in this shit. And then through whatnot as well, like I'm starting to find so many new people that are finding out about us and just finding out about the community in general. It feels like it's something that could possibly make a return just for the idea that like we are getting newer people back into the community. And
Yeah.
just kind of something that could be welcoming and just it just feels like I just want everybody to get back on their bully. You know what I mean? Like Saucy should just be the first foot to drop. I really would like to see battle season come back. You know what I mean? They're like mid season 9 still for like 8 months. You know what I mean? It would be nice to see them come back and finish that shit off and like, you know what I mean? Just kind of just have it be proper again. I feel like there is everybody just got to find a little time. I know we talked about doing some shit possibly, you know what I mean? So like just trying to find things to give people fun. You know what I mean? Just like some it doesn't have to, it feels very tense sometimes these days because like they hear battle and it's like if there's no example of what it looks like, then like
Yeah.
in your head it could be intimidating, you know what I mean? Like, oh shit. And the comments are
So
still kind of vicious, like, and so like
yeah,
that can get to you. But like once you get over the hurdle, like I think it's just kind of like jumping off the porch and seeing that like you can do it too. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of fun to it for sure. You know what I mean? Like so I hope through Saucy kind of putting his foot down and like, you know what I mean? I hope shit kind of just keeps moving forward with that because yeah, there's enough room for the battles these days. You know what I mean? Like, and I like to see the newer people hosting battles and shit, like because it's not the same fucking hats all the time. Everybody has their own like shit that they like and shit that they're gonna like vote for. You know what I mean? And so like everybody deserves their own set of the community to get a spotlight. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But
I think no, after you.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you ever tuned in to like Saturday Night Pinup. So like people, they bring out fire hats. So it's not only just about the hat, but like the way they pin up in general. And like they go and they spit a 16. And
what do you mean they rap?
It's pretty much we rapping because I battle on Riot streams and we'll do a full pin up,
Wait, so yeah, it's like a triple entendre battle.
Yeah. So like I'll have like a bully pin with some other pin and I'll be like, yo, I'm a bully to this shit and I'll fucking slice your throat, like some crazy whatever, however you pin up,
Yeah.
But like the way that Riot does it now, because this is the second season so far. So now he'll give you a category. So like say it's me and you, right? He'll give us like you have to
all-star game and you must
no. He'll give you like a category like music. You have to use music pins. So like Cito pins, Donnie like with the microphone, like different stuff. And you have to come up with a battle, like a 16 for it. You don't really have to rap, but it kind of makes it a little smoother. You just got to have a good story to tell. And then, and then he lets the chat vote, 7 votes wins. And then you get put on a wheel. And then if you win that wheel, it's normally about 3 to 4 battles. And then the wheel spins. And then if it lands on you, you win that week. And then going forward, like say you won that week and I want it back, I could call you out for it. But now he makes it a little bit more intense now. So now it's like we could battle for pinks. So like I could win a pin off your hat or I could win your whole hat. So it gets intense when you call somebody out now. Yeah, so I highly recommend tuning in at least once in a blue. He's about to be on week 7 or 8 right now. He does 9 weeks.
So it's like by seasons then?
Yeah, so he does about 9 weeks, and then the 10th week is Pinomania, and that's where all hell just breaks loose and people be spazzing. Then he goes on a break for about 3 months, and then we start it up again. So,
he should fucking kind of just run it. I mean, like he basically has like a very similar vibe to it, but he should run it like how Naughty would, where like at the end of season 8, or week 8 in the season, like it goes playoffs, and then y'all all
Yeah,
face each other. The
that's
people that
exactly
won
how
all
he
8
does it.
weeks. Oh, and then it's like playoffs afterwards.
Yeah, so like
Yeah.
say like
Fire.
there's 9
So like
winners.
Pin Mania is like the playoffs
Yeah, so
Yeah.
somebody gets like a bye week,
all in one
you
night.
know, all in one night. Yep.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, every Saturday it's a new episode, and then the Pinamania is nuts. It's
Yeah,
nuts.
no,
Yeah, I gotta
I
tap
was.
in.
I'm gonna touch on the one that happened on what was it Friday that Bones came up, right? It
Oh
was
yeah, that
Friday.
was Friday
Oh,
on
y'all
Community
let
So
Bones
Battles.
battle? That's not fair.
Yeah.
so no. So Pete, so Riot is a legend in Pin Wars.
Yeah, I
Riot
was
is
about to
no
say Riot used to. I feel like Riot used to kind of cook people rapping in Pin Wars. That's the
yeah.
same person I'm thinking of, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ryan
same
Brims.
Riot,
Okay,
same
Ryan
yeah,
exact
Brims.
Riot. So he used to,
okay,
so he's a legend in Pin Wars. So
yeah,
now he hosts his own thing. But on Friday, Sneakerhead he hosts the battles, and Riot was up there, and Bones came up, and everybody was like, "Nah, we need to see a Bones Riot battle." And I ain't gonna lie, Riot was on a run. Riot cooked up 5 people, bro. I'm talking
Yeah.
about
yeah,
he packed up Bones and Weeple, because I'm sure you're familiar with Weeple, because Weeple was another one that was in Pen Wars. He
yeah.
packed
That's
him up.
crazy.
Yeah, man, it's great to see. I love to see it, and yeah, no, it's great energies coming back. You definitely got to tune in. I'll send you the live once they go on like a Friday and stuff. If you're not at work, I'll send you the live so you can tap in. They usually do it before Digging in Duffel, because Digging in Duffel now is gonna be 8 o'clock, 8 o'clock ish. So they run it right after, actually at 10 o'clock.
Yeah,
They
yeah, 10
run it.
o'clock.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
run it
that
10 o'clock.
yeah.
They run it like a
I gotta tap
circuit.
in. That sounds fire. I'm not gonna hold you. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be flaming
They
people
run
in
it
the
like
comments.
it's Community Battles by Sneakerhead and Big Papa, and it's a circuit. So like you stay
Oh yeah,
on
I've tapped
until
into
you
that
lose.
before. Just never the pin battles. I've seen the community
Yeah.
battles before.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
lit. It's definitely lit.
Nah, and then it's dope to see, because some people, like, they started, let's say, in season one, they would just go on there and kind of like be shy, show their pins, don't really have like anything to correlate. And some of these guys now, they're coming up. Like one of the guys in there, Papa Love Sneakers, he went on yesterday on the pinup, and he actually had bars. I was like, oh shit, like
Yeah,
the
Surf Fitted
the
too. Surf Fitted
progression.
starting to cook up.
The
He's
progression
starting to
is
cook up.
good. Like the people are actually coming up with their own thing. Like, oh, I'm a chop, like he said, I chop your head off and all.
Yeah.
And like you look at the pinup and you be like, oh shit, like he.
So some of these people that are buying from you on Whatnot, they're using it for Saturday night.
Interesting.
So
That's
that's kind
fire.
of why I
That's how they're
wanted to
figuring out
roll it
what's the
in.
fire pins then, because Riot's like,
Yeah.
yo, that's that shit, and they're like, yo, I gotta go buy that shit.
Yep.
Yeah, put
Exactly.
it's full circle right now. I'm understanding.
Nah, and I love to see it, because also when Riot does give the categories, sometimes they gotta scatter around, just like in battle season. They gotta scatter around and they gotta go buy some pins. They gotta go look for that pin, because they're not trying to lose. They're not
They
trying to get
lucky we ship it one
eliminated
day.
for not having the pins. Yeah, you feel me? It's dope to see. I love to see it, man. Shout out Riot, shout out Sneakerhead, shout out everybody doing the battles. But
Hell
I
yeah.
want to ask you, right? So you being a vet in a battle scene, like, what was a favorite one of your battles, and or a battle that you saw that you was like, damn, this was a legendary battle?
Shit. Well, for me, like personally, I think probably my best battle, because a lot of my battles were kind of landslides. I don't want to be that guy, but like shit was going
Nah,
shit
you
was
ain't
going left
lying
for some
though.
people. Shit was going left for some people. So like my first round, I like the week that I won, which I like. You was talking about going back and watching. Like I totally recommend anybody that is like that has never seen any of this shit. Like if you've never experienced this and you're in the hack community, I 100% recommend to go back and watch, because it is really a movie. You don't have to even understand the hats to get it. Like even without the comments, like it's just the energy is there. You know what I mean? So like I think the week that I
Facts.
won was pretty legendary, because at that point $1 Million Capo was like a really poppin' hack club influencer. You know what I mean? And he was like best friends with MVP Panda, who was like basically the community manager of Hat Club. She sent out
Yeah.
all of the influencer hats and gave everybody early access. And so like I went on a crazy rant, because like he pulled out a fucking hat that hadn't even come out yet. And it was just like nobody, not even it didn't come out. No one had ever seen the hat or the colorway. Like he was the first
Yeah.
person to preview it on the live. So I came on the live and I was pissed, and I'm like, damn, I felt like this was really my week to win. You feel me? Like I knew I had all of the hats that I needed to win. And he was kind of stealing my thunder a little bit. We both went to the same drop at Roosevelt Field Mall. and we both like bought a lot of the early access hats that came out. He went before me. He showed a bunch of them. So my whole shtick was like, okay, I showed all of the hats that everybody showed throughout the whole night, and I was like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna show in any of these hats. We're gonna put those to the side, and I'm gonna show new hats. And I was screaming, Panda didn't send me this hat. Panda didn't send me this. And so like
Yeah.
that particular, just because it was so many people, it was like 14 motherfuckers, and I went like 12th. But like the battle between me and Legit in the semifinals is probably the one. Like I think there, like as far as shit talking, like there is like no like higher level of shit talking. I knew I had to be on some real demon time to like really like, you know what I mean? And so like there was certain shit like after that like we met up after the battle and smoked a blunt, you know what I mean? Like because we don't live so far from each other. And so like,
Yeah.
but it was like, yo, you really said that to me? Like bro,
It's
like
battle season, man.
I thought
It's
we was
battle,
cool.
huh?
Like I was like, man, like we was talking before that shit. He said he wasn't gonna use a certain hat because we at that point you couldn't show a hat twice in the battle. You know what I mean? For the whole playoffs. So if somebody showed a hat, you couldn't double up on showing a hat. So there was a hat that we knew was gonna make it to our battle, and I was like, yo, we should leave that one. So if one of us wins, we could show it next week. We would go first. And he was like, fuck that. And he showed it anyways. I was like, oh, you motherfucker. But anyways, like that's probably my favorite one-on-one battle. And then the joint with, I'm not gonna hold you to 2v2 with the finals with me and Kyle and then Bones and Heartbreak is a movie. Bones really put his foot in them battles for real. Like that shit was really a movie. He brought out the whole book of battleations and he was like reading from the book of battleations. The shit was it was a movie for sure. He had the Undertaker music going off. That shit was fire, like for real. It was like a real
Great
movie. So
times.
and then for like battles that I've witnessed, shit, some of the finals were really epic. I think Cop Shop had an epic finals with Brett that was crazy. Fucking Gat and F5.
Gat and F5 is
I don't even
definitely
remember what
on
that
my.
battle was in. Was that like battle season or rookie of the year? I don't even remember. But Gat and F5 had one of the rookie of the year finals too. Some of the most classic battles, like them shits.
I wanna
Movies.
say that one was the rookie of the year because F5 was just stepping into battling around that time, and it has to be on like the top 10 of battles, and that's when F5 kind of like solidified himself and being like one of them guys too because he came on there not playing, bro. Yeah, for sure.
And you really couldn't tell if they was friends or not. They were, but like at that point, I was like, damn, does Gat really hate F5? Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, nah. We definitely get to see some of that in pin battles and Saturday pinups because some of the people that you hear them, you know that they really good friends, but when it comes to battle time and you hear the stuff that
fuck
come
you,
out their
bro.
mouth, you be like, oh
Yeah.
shit, you be like,
It's up
damn,
for you,
man.
bro.
Yeah,
You know
it's
what I mean?
over. Like, damn, man.
Yeah, some people
Nah.
they do that. They'll like add like a little theme music to their whole skit. Like, you know, we have Quan. Yo, he's a showman. He'll take his hat out the freezer or an oven. Yeah, because he's like, I'm about to cook y'all and that. Like, yo, he goes crazy. He goes crazy.
Nah, yesterday
good
he pulled it out the toy box. He was like, I'm not playing with you niggas, and pulled it out the
Yeah.
toy box.
No, it's crazy.
Nah.
It gets lit. It gets lit.
Yeah, nah, it's definitely good times, man. It's definitely I love to see like the energy back in the community because I don't know for like a short period of time there was like a lot of like back and forth and like almost like hate in the community. Like there was a lot of arguing, a lot of like bitching and shit going on. And it's like, yo, like we're not here for that. This is supposed to be fun. This is supposed to be our own little space to where like we just forget about the world. We talk fitties, we talk shit. You feel me? We have fun in this shit. And you know, there was a. I'm glad that phase is kind of like out. You know.
I can imagine it's sometimes down to people's egos get the better of them if they're losing in a battle, especially when they've been on a run or they're they're generally just like doing well, and then suddenly someone comes along and because obviously this is then something I was going to ask. Obviously, we talk about how you don't want to make it intimidating for someone new. So, for example, say if obviously I'm from the UK, my hat collection is obviously not as history related or as hype as a lot of other collectors that would enter a battle and stuff like this. How would you? So, what rule or two rules could you put in place to allow someone to come along into a battle who potentially doesn't have FNFs from 5, 6, 7 years ago, which are going to make, obviously they're going to win. What type of things would you do to put in place to put someone like myself in a position where I can enter a battle and not have to worry about favoritism or, you know, the fact that someone spent $500 on a hat back in the day, or someone that things like that. What type of things could you put in place to make it an even playing ground as much as you possibly can for a battle?
So yeah, like I mean, just harkening back to battle season, like battle season had like a running band list. And so like I think after like the first like season, like they kind of realized like, okay, these are like the Thanos hats that like if you show these hats, obviously you're gonna fucking win. And so like going into season 2, it was like, okay, this is season 2. You can't show any of these hats to start the season.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And then as the season goes on, there would be like a like if a hat got shown a certain amount of times in a winning clip, it would get banned throughout the season. And so like by the end of the season, it'd be like, okay, you can't show this set of hats. You know what I mean? And then there would be times where the ban list would open, you know what I mean, and things would change. But like for that specifically. And then there was also just like rules based on every every KOC along the way. And so like everybody did something that kind of made them like cheat code-ish. And so like for me, it was like my whole thing was I won in duos week, which like duos week at that time basically it was like a week predicated on showing 2 hats of the same team that are different color hats and different color undervisors. So like that was like a famous week in battle season where like a lot of people wanted to enter that week. You would show 10 hats and it would be like 5 different teams and they would all
That's
be
cool.
like two kind of sets basically. You know what I mean? And so like you could even flex it where you could do like a Brooklyn Dodgers and a LA Dodgers or like a Montreal Expos and a Washington Nationals, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And so I took it a step further in my season where like I was trying to clip people. And so I would show 2 hats, you know what I mean? Like I would show doubles throughout my playoff lineups, but then I would also brim switch my hat after every hat that I showed. That would also be a hat. It would be like 3 hats instead of 2 hats. And so then I was basically showing hats on my head that people could show in battle theoretically, but I had just shown it. So I was clipping like extra hats. You know what I mean? Like you could show that in a battle, but how cool is it going to be when you show it in your clip and it was on my head? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then the next season, the rule was you can't brim switch anymore during the battle. You know what I mean? Like, and that was it. That was that. No one could ever do it again. You know what I mean? So it's like whenever people, you kind of just like watch the landscape and see what people are doing, and then be like, okay, well, obviously you've found a loophole. You can't do that shit no more. You know what I mean? Like, and you just make a rule to say you can't do that. You know what I mean? So I think in this sense, it will probably be something where like we're so far removed from certain things that like it's cool in like a digging in the duffel setting or like certain settings to see really older hats, but like a lot of those older hats aren't really going to win battles these days. There's like when it comes to like certain features on a hat, like it depends what you're judging for, but like if I'm looking at a hat now, like a lot of the hats that we're seeing have like special stitching and glow in the dark and fucking have a whole hook that's related to it that brings a story about. And you know what I mean? You can tell like the lineage of a hat for real. And so like certain hats from back in the day just aren't going to stand the test of time in the same way. And so you really won't get away with it. So there could be just like a situation where if you're running battles now, you'd be like, listen, I don't want to see nothing from 2023 and earlier. You know what I mean? Show me 2024 and up. You know what I mean? Like, and then you kind of just, you can set the criteria of whatever you want people to show. You know what I mean? And just kind of run it like that.
Nice.
I love to see it, but I love the legendary battle days. Hopefully we get to bring rookie of the year, or we continue to have our talks to see if we bring something else for the people. But let's go on to the features that you have had, right? So being a part of GQ and being a part of all of that. Now, just recently, you were featured on the first ever XSL Lids collab. How'd that come about, bro? How'd you feel after doing that?
I don't know who watches this show, but I hope that that's not just the first. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it's like we were supposed to have a second. I don't know if that's really happening right now, and that kind of pissed me off a little bit because it was that we were sold the idea that like we were going to be the first of like a lineage of like freshman lists, kind of like how the freshman list was, and like I don't really think that's going to happen no more. You know what I mean? And there's people at Lids that could, you know what I mean, probably pull some strings and try to figure some shit out. You know what I mean? I don't know, Pierre. We gotta figure it out. You know what I mean? But I feel like that should happen.
He watches.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but that I feel like it should happen again. It would be really dope to like have 8 more people or 10 more people. I don't know how many people on that shit to like kind of put on the platform. But like that was all I will give all credit of that to Christian. You know what I mean? Shouts to Christian Katatani. You know what I mean? Like he's been in the community for quite some time. You know what I mean? Like he was like Lids' liaison when they had like even probably I don't know if he was before or like at the same time as Manolo and Munfu, but basically
I
like
think they coincide
yeah, so
in time.
those were like their three like kind of introductions into the community and trying to get community cool because Lids was really uncool at first. You know what I mean? Like, and they had to try to find their cool points somewhere along the line. You know what I mean? And they
Yeah,
still out there trying to find their cool points for real. You know what I mean? They're getting there. You know what I mean? You got Pierre. They're trying to like mount like some kind of team together that understands what's going on in the community. You know what I mean? Like, because I
yeah,
feel like larger corporate doesn't really. Like that is all. That's all like Christian's brainchild. He had an idea and the shit like kind of he put the list together, you know what I mean? He's the one that reached out to us and was like, "Yo, I want y'all to be a part of this." Yeah, and he's kind of like he had his fingerprints on the list and the people that were chosen. There were other people that were supposed to be on the list that couldn't even make the shoot. And so like there was like some shit like a lot of people that I think people said should be on the list were going to be on the list but just like couldn't make the shoot for whatever reason. And so
yeah,
like things had to change here and there, but yeah, I think he did a great job of representing like different sides of the community. That was a list where
for
like it
sure.
wasn't just like a one-sided thing. Obviously, it was me and Lonnie. We kind of represent one side of the community. You got Tips, who's like a whole different side of the community for real. You know what I mean? You got John Stan, who's a way different side of the community over there. You know what I mean? Like, but they're all progressing hats in a different way in the culture. You know what I mean? Like John
Mm.
Yeah,
Stan's hats are on a lot of celebrities. You know what I mean? That's a lot of their introductions to hats that are like luxury. You know what I mean? And J
yeah.
Tips as well. You know what I mean? Like from the hats to the sneakers. You know what I mean? Showing that there can be progression through hats and like fucking
Do you
Ty. You
guys
know what I mean? Like Ty is like a whole different side of that. To where like really started and brought up into sneakers and one of the first hat designers that's ever existed down to leaders back in the early 2000s and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
talk
and
about
so
it?
like we're talking about like different sides of all of it. You know what I mean? Where he put together a list that felt kind of everybody didn't love it, but it felt comprehensive of like what the community looked like across the board. You know what I mean? Like, and
Yeah,
so that's kind of how that happened. They kind of just told us, hey, we're gonna do this thing. I had no idea what it actually was at first. They were like, yo, we're gonna do this lids collaboration thing. I didn't know if they wanted us to make hats or fucking patches or whatever the fuck they was gonna have us do. I had no idea until like a few days before, and they were like, oh, it's gonna be like a feature interview thing. And so like, yeah, that shit to me, it was important for the community to just see a bunch of people plastered all over. You know what I mean? We were in the United States, we were across seas. I went to Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? I
Yeah,
was over
I
there
was
in
just
Puerto
about to say
Rico.
you signed one too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like shouts to my guy up here, you know what I mean? Like that's something where like I was able to, you know what I mean, go to a local lids, get the poster myself. You know what I mean? I have a big ass poster of me. That was all of the things I've done. That's the first time I've ever been like in a store, you know what I mean, in a live ad that's real, you know what I mean, in real life. You know what I mean? And so like yeah, that's to me, that's a legendary moment for Gray Bottoms. Like that's a legendary moment for the community. Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people that came from different sides of the community to celebrate the community. I wish they would have kept in a lot of the shit that I said in there because they cut up that interview like crazy. I was giving mad props out. I was handing props out left and right. Like, and I wish that everybody would have got to get their flowers and that shit. You know what I mean? Because I really tried to extend my reach as far as I could while I was talking to them. But you know what I
yeah.
mean? For the sake of editorial, you know what I mean? They had to cut certain things and put certain things into a piece that made sense for everybody. There was a lot of people talking. But yeah, that shit was like that was a blessing to me just because that's a way for we do a lot of shit in this community and it's hard to like tangibly like explain it to people. You know what I mean? Like a
Yeah.
lot of people see it and they like, oh, like that's popping. Like you know what I mean? You got a lot of followers when you started battling hats and fucking making hats. And that's cool that you do that. But like it's hard for somebody that has nothing to do with this to see it and have it explained to them in a tangible way. Except if they walk past a lids and they see you on a poster. And then they're
Yeah,
like, oh
exactly.
shit, like
Yeah,
you're in an ad.
That's
Like,
I think.
that's how it was. That's how it was for me when I saw the poster go up. I walked past it, and I Shooter lives here out here in PA as well, and like seeing everybody on there, I was like, "Yo, that's off the dome."
4-5
Oh
shooter.
shit, that's J Tips. It's like to me, that was like, "Yo, they speaking to us because they actually noticing what the community is because it's like it's way more than just a lid store. There's some people out there that obviously only buy lid store because they don't know about the community. But when I tell you, I seen the poster. I was raving about this thing to like everybody. I was like, yo, y'all just don't know. Y'all gotta go on off the dome. Y'all gotta go look at Frosty. Y'all gotta go look at J Tips. J Tips started in the hat community. Off the dome, they do their interviews. They were the original ones doing the interviews for the people. You guys got to interview J Tips for your 99th episode. All of that. Like to me, that was like speaking to the community. I was speaking to myself as a part of the community, you know. So like this right here, legendary moment. That's why when I pulled up to the pop up, I had to make sure that I got the signature from y'all. Had
This is the
to.
thing, is that you say like, oh, it's proof that they see us, and I could tell you with 100%, like I know 1000% they see us. They
Yeah, of
definitely see
course.
us.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
see. It's just a matter of acknowledgement and like breaking bread with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like there's we have conversations, a lot of conversations with higher ups at all the stores. You know what I mean? Lids sees us. You know what I mean? Lids, when we started the podcast, and we did a lot of lid slander when we first started the podcast. You know what I mean? And a lot
I
of people didn't
remember.
love it. I had my words with Manolo. You know what I mean? Like we like through DM about like kind of just like how I saw shit. You know what I mean? Like and where I was coming from. And like it's fucking a lot of people. They see it all, but it's about like, are they going to acknowledge it and are they going to break bread with it? So that was a moment
Yeah.
where it's like we know Christian sees it. Christian will get us into fucking Lids events, you feel me, and give us access and free shit and like, you know what I mean? And but like putting us in that position showed that like that he convinced somebody in the higher ups, because these are corporations. You know what I mean? So a
Yeah.
lot of these people are fighting for us on the ground level. They see it, you know what I mean? And they go back to their bosses and they're trying to get their bosses to see it, but it's up to like their bosses to okay seeing it, you know what I mean? And acknowledging it in public. And so
Yeah.
that was a moment for us to be like, okay, well, they didn't just see it, but like they got somebody to okay it and bring it together and acknowledge us in public. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
like Hat Club sees it all the time. You know what I mean? But does Hat Club always want to like make the concessions to like, you know what I mean, do what they should do to really put themselves in a position with the community? Not really, because it goes through the person that's at the very bottom that really wants to see it work, to this person on top of them, to this person on top of them, and eventually there's a no there. You know what I mean? Like, and the
Yeah.
same thing happens with New Era, where like we talk to New Era reps, we have conversations, you know what I mean? We tell them, hey, this Nigel Sylvester brick by brick shit is ass. Like that shit sucks. You guys could have put him together with somebody from the community and it would have been something. And then months later, they see and that's when they acknowledge, you know what I mean? Like it's one thing about seeing. They know what the fuck is up with Rushmore,
Yeah.
but they gotta throw us a bone. You feel me? They gotta give Rushmore the collaboration. They gotta give them the stamp.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? They gotta put it at SneakerCon. That's when we could say you acknowledged us. I don't
And
want to be
when and
seen. I
that
want to be
one as well.
acknowledged.
That one was another moment where I was like, damn, bro, like they finally, like we starting to, like the community starting to get that fucking recognition that we deserve. Because another one of my questions is like, do you feel like, I mean, you basically gave me the answer right there, and I was gonna ask that. Like, that, do you feel like we not getting as much recognition as we should, you know, as far as the community go? And I
Oh
mean, it's
no.
pretty explanatory, you know. Like, yeah, you got Rushmore to be there, and I felt like, yo, these are homies from the block. Like, I could go to New York right now, go to the spot, and I might run into them and be able to eat with them. You feel me? I could call them and everything, and like to actually see it at Complex Con, and them having a whole thing. They got to do a full on custom hat, bike in the back, all of that. That's like all pivotal. Like, I just hope that
Yeah.
they continue. Like, I know y'all listening, and I know y'all watch it even after the show. Yo, when you run it back, just keep pushing it, keep fucking pushing it, keep going, because this is we gonna be bigger than sneakers, to be honest, in my opinion.
I mean, one thing I want to say, speaking on recognition and what a company owes you, this is something that I've told a lot of people. I've heard a lot of ramblings from some people who talk about how they don't get recognized, they're not given these opportunities, this. But then when you look at they've been interested in something. So this isn't just fitted hats. This is obviously shoes, sneakers over here. This is all type of stuff. People will be so interested in something, but that's not enough. People don't realize that you have to influence others to be interested in it, as well as building a community like you did with the battles. You know, do mock-ups. You'll do 500 mock-ups. None of them are going to get made, but you're doing it and you're posting it on your story. You know, and you got this interview with Lids, and you've made hats. You know, the Off the Dome pod had those hats recently. And things like that. And people think that just because they're interested in hats, that they're owed every opportunity in the world without having to put in the groundwork. which is obviously the biggest issue, that people don't create content. And I know people don't want to be an influencer, but you don't have to be an influencer to create content. You just have to create content for your own page. You don't have to do an unboxing video doing a cringy voice. You don't have to come with me to get a coffee. You just have to actually post content, even if it's a picture. I'm from, being a fitted collector in the UK, I know for a fact that the recognition that I'm getting is generally based on the effort that I'm putting in, posting every day, posting a combo picture, doing a video on a hook. I've got a video coming out about Ills' hat that he's made. I've got a photo shoot lined up for it. Things like that, where you put in groundwork, and people need to realize that you don't get these opportunities just by being interested in a product. You have to influence people to be interested in the product as well, which is what you guys did in the old school days with your battles and stuff like that. Like you said, people actively went out and tried to find these old hats just to compete, or these old pins just to compete. And a lot of people seem to want to bypass the work to get the end product, which is then when people get disheartened and they end up hating companies, they end up hating things, which is obviously the biggest issue.
Yeah. I mean, I think I don't think we're entitled to anything really from these companies. I mean, at the end of the day, New Era is a big company. We're a drop in a bucket for them. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
They don't see the hat community like, and I can tell you this is real. You know what I mean? They don't see the hat community as moving the needle on the dollar. You know what I mean? Like, they think that whether we exist or not, people are going to be buying hats. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
they're New Era cap. They have licensing deals with all of the biggest leagues. Like, people aren't going to stop buying baseball hats because you don't have a hat community. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And that's really the way that they see it for real. And so, like, there has to be something for us to show, like, we do move the needle. There is something there. There are people that want these hats. There are people that stand in line for these hats. There's people that will sell these hats out in minutes. You know what I mean? Like, and there's just an opportunity to make better product. Like, through the years of, like, fucking experiencing the product and being the ultimate consumer of the product. Like, all the other brands, Nike, for instance, if you bought as many shoes as we've bought hats, we'd be in Beaverton right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? We'd be in focus groups. That's how J-Tip started. You know what I mean? That's how fucking all of my friends ended up in Nike jobs. You know what I mean? Or working with companies. Because after enough brand loyalty and enough moving the needle, J-Tips was a reseller, you know what I mean? J-Tips kind of moved the sneaker culture in a way, you know what I mean? Where he would do sneaker videos and shit to the point where it's like, okay, come to campus. Let's talk then. You know what I mean? But how many motherfuckers get to go to Buffalo without making an actual CTO hat? How many times does New Era invite anyone to Buffalo?
That,
you know
and
like,
that's
just for an idea
to
make better product, because their product sucks. You know what I mean? The actual inline product that they make, the stores are crying because they don't want to buy it. It's like fucking Jordan tees and jeans back in the days. You know what I mean? It's like you gotta buy this stuff to get the fucking Cherry 13s. You know what I mean? Like, and so, like, how about if that product was decent? You know what I mean? How about if you were early on the product and you didn't have to rip J-Tip's idea off like fucking 8 months later? You know what I mean? Or you didn't have to rip off somebody's idea that did some shit 2 years ago. You know what I mean? How about if you just, like, contacted them and had a conversation? You know what I mean? Broke a little bit of bread, just a little bit.
Or make and if not, make the office a little bit younger, because obviously, there's some old heads up there that they're not really paying attention, and to the point that you made is, they think that because they got all these licensings and everything, that it's just gonna continue to bring in money, but in reality, there's like you said, product is not all that great. Like, I don't think I've bought a hat from New Era directly from the New Era page in like 5 years, 6 years, if not more. And if I go on there, it's if like a store, say like the WBC stuff. If a store sold out on it that I usually cop from, I'll go on the New Era cop because I know I'm gonna find it on there. you know. But that's just like on field type of stuff. But like if you really want like that recognition of like this is New Era Cop and we make custom hats, like you gotta change the playing field. You gotta change the office. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, and I'm loving the weekly reviews, and you definitely give them a piece of your mind on there, and I loved it. I loved it because I was like, listen, bro, New Era Buffalo, y'all a step away, y'all are an hour away from the city. Just
Listen,
in the
I
city
feel like
alone.
I'm 6 videos from making hats and a luchador mask, brother. I can't. They're not. I'm gonna get blacklisted real quick. You know what I mean? Like either that or I'm gonna get a job. It's only gonna go one of two ways, and I don't think they can pay me what I'm happy with. So I feel like I'm gonna get blacklisted. You know what I mean? Like
it's difficult though, isn't it? Because obviously you want to slate a company off, like New Era Europe. The amount of times that I don't want to insult New Era Europe, but they have neglected the fitted scene to the point where there is only 6 of us in the UK that we know of that collect fitted hats. There's six of us, and
that's crazy.
You know, like like we said at the beginning of the pod, Cap and myself are coming over to New York next month to experience a better fitted culture because we just don't have it. We're trying our best to build it as much as we can, but like legally we can't get hats made over here. Like we can't do mock-ups because we don't have any stores. So all the stores that have New Era stock lists, they sell trucker hats and New Era berets, literally berets. Like they don't even sell fitted hats. So we don't even get creative things over here. And it's just like, you don't want to insult the company because like you said, if you get blacklisted by the company because you speak your mind, it's like, yeah, what do I do? Because you need them to listen, but you got to do it in a diplomatic way.
Yeah, so I proxy for Rob. Like anything he acquires here in the States, it gets sent to me, and then I ship it out in a big box for him.
Yeah, it's the only way for us to do it.
Now, speaking on Luchador Mask, may you speak on that beautiful crown that you have on the mata, good sir.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Hall of Fame Rey Mysterio. Just dropped that Hat Club this week. You know what I mean? App exclusive.
Yes,
it was supposed to be part of Main Event 2, but I think we submitted, I want to say 16 hats in the actual pack or 15 hats, and the fucking 12 of them came and 3 of them got delayed. This one was delayed in approvals. They dubbed out, I had my 619 on the back. They dubbed my 619. I had to go Mexico flag baddie. Yeah, it just got stuck in approvals because I don't think anyone had used this as a side patch necessarily yet. And so like just kind of New Era approvals get stuck sometimes. Hat Club is it's rough to work with sometimes. Like it's just kind of like they get whoever looks at Hat Club's work is paying close attention because it's Hat Club. You know what I mean? So they don't get away with a lot of stuff. And if they do, it takes a really long time to get through approvals. So if you're doing like a pack, sometimes your shit is going to get left off and it's going to be like, well, that's going to get ordered when it gets ordered. You know what I mean? And so like this and the Hardy Boys. And then there was another one that actually just is never going to come out. And then legit made a different hat in place of it. So like there was a Jey Uso hat that's probably never going to happen. And so like it was like a Giants with like a minor league patch. It just had problems with the patch getting cleared with the actual logo. I think we were just trying to have fun with the second series and do different kinds of hats and expand our palette a little bit, and just certain shit didn't come in time. So this is just one of those kind of like lost joints. Yeah, that's where we're at with it. You know what I mean? Something.
Yeah, nah, definitely on my list for pack of the year. I remember when you did the part 1, and you had mentioned oh, this might win pack of the year. I was like, bro, it's it might over here on the pod. I was like, it's still kind of early, but when pack 2 came out, I was like, ugh, damn, man, like this is crazy. Like I ain't gonna lie, this might actually win pack of the year right here. Like y'all went crazy. And shout out to AMS. I saw that he was at ACW, and he got Jeff and Matt to actually see the hat, see the photo shoot and everything. That shit was so fucking dope, bro.
Yeah, I think I knew instantly when I came up with the idea. Like it was just like we knew we wanted to do a pack with Hat Club, just like us 6. Like we talk a lot, like we were kind of like good friends. And so we spend a lot of time in the group chat talking shit about like regular life shit. You know what I mean? Their kids and fucking what's going on in the day to day and whatnot. And so like wrestling just became something that we would talk about on the daily. I was like fucking super tapped out for mad years. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I was not like wrestling was one of my first loves for real. Like I was watching it when I was fucking 5 and shit. And so like I was real early, like WCW, like Sting versus fucking Ric Flair type shit. You know what I mean? Like yeah, and all that type of shit. And then like early, like you know what I mean, early into like the Attitude Era stuff and fucking, you know what I mean, Hulk Hogan and whatnot. And fucking I kind of cut out around like 2001 ish. Like I never even got to like Brock Lesnar, John Cena vibes. You know what I mean? Like I cut out that shit. That to me at that point,
Wow.
once I hit like 5th grade, I was trying to I like girls. You know what I mean? So like I wanted to go outside. I wanted to spend all my time outside of my house, and so like I didn't watch a lot of TV at that point. You know what I mean? I was just trying to be outside as much as I could at my friend's house, and so like I really didn't expect. That was like my brother's. That's like my little brother's generation of wrestling. You know what I mean? Like that's when he really got into it and started fucking with it. And so like I just got back into it fucking like a few years back, and so like we were watching for like a few months at that point, and I like once I got into it I got hooked again, and I was like, damn, I'm really fucking with this shit. Like I was jacking the storylines and shit, and I was just like, yo, this is fun. And then I had people to talk about it with, you know what I mean? So then it became like a real hobby for me, and I was like, when we were thinking about what we wanted to do for a pack, I was like, listen, we could do like everybody's making just like whatever fucking hat and just like making like a variety pack and putting it out as a group. You know what I mean? Like, what can we do that'll be different? Like, what if we like did something that had like a theme to it? You know what I mean? And that's really the one thing that we talked about a lot. So I was like, yo, like I feel like there's a lot of people that actually enjoy wrestling in the hat community. It felt like a good crossover to where it was like, yo, there are like Fitted Chef, shouts to Fitted Chef. He had fire wrestling hats already. You know what I mean? Like he had never really put them into a pack, but he had like one off the shit out of them. You know what I mean? With the Bubba Ray, the Stone Cold kind of really set everything off for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Where it was like, okay, like there is a good fitted community that cares about the hats. You know what I mean? That cares about wrestling. You know what I mean? And so it was just like, yo, there's never really been a wrestling pack though. Like nobody ever really put like a bunch of hats together into a pack. So it was like, yo, let's fuck with it. You know what I mean? And when people actually like enjoyed it and like really were receptive to it, even if they didn't give a fuck about the wrestlers, like, and then it became like kind of community-esque where like people that did care about the wrestlers, now we talking to DM all the time about wrestling. There's people that like I never talked to in this community at all until we made a wrestling pack and they figured out like wrestling. And now we talking to DM about wrestling all the time, like literally back and forth. And so fucking that's just, you know what I mean? That was just something that we thought would hit with people, and it did, and they resonated with it. And so that's just something where we can kind of share our great interests together. You know what I mean? Like, and
I will say y'all did get me back interested, because I definitely stopped watching wrestling for a long time, and then once the pack came about, I was like, let me see what wrestling is about, because y'all around my age, I'm like, if they watching wrestling, it must be good. So I started watching some of the episodes. I started watching some of the episodes on Netflix, and I'm like, oh shit, wrestling is actually fucking good again. It's actually fucking really good now.
It's moved away from PG now, isn't it? Because obviously the reason it got really bad for ages is because it became PG. There was no weapons, there was no blood, there was no holds barred, there was no, it wasn't allowed. And then obviously they shifted back towards the good side of it.
There's a little bit more lenience now. You know what I mean? They lean a little bit more into the sex of it all. You know what I mean? Like there is some blood here and there. I mean, it's reserved for special spots, but it does happen. You know what I mean? Like Cody bled out on fucking SmackDown last night.
You know I love to see Randy back to his, voices in his head.
Network. You know what I mean? So like it's just like there's a certain level of it that definitely came back when I think Triple H kind of like changed things up a little bit. It got kind of old and stale with Vince McMahon. He's an old motherfucker. You can only know what the kids want to see for so long at 80. You know what I mean? So it's like I think Triple H did a good job of kind of like transitioning that for people. And I'm knee deep in that shit, brother. I'm planning a trip to Mexico. I'm trying to go lucha libre on them. You feel me? Like I'm trying to go. I want to experience the real thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's always interesting when you watch the old WWE's, the Attitude Era, when they used to bleed. If you watch it closely, you would see them lay on the floor with like
the little ball, the
razor would go like that. They would like rub it. Yeah, they would rub it across their foreheads to obviously, and then like when you do the interviews, you see like they've got cuts everywhere from where they've done it for so many episodes, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
like, and then obviously now, obviously it's all the special effects.
Yo, you said
sick individuals. When we did the photo shoot and we got into a wrestling ring for the first time, I was like, yo, motherfuckers is jumping off of this shit onto this shit. No, hell no.
Yo, brother. So you said you want to go to Mexico, right? You was just in PR, bro. You gotta experience Puerto Rico wrestling, bro. You got to. Listen, next time you go, you got to see Puerto Rico wrestling, because I fully
expect that shit to be a movie, because I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The fucking World Baseball Classic in Puerto Rico is probably the greatest sporting event I've ever attended in my whole entire life, bro. You will never. There was not even. I've attended, like we live in the United States. there's double the size of the crowds in the United
Yeah,
States for a Yankee game than there is for a PR game. You can only fit like 18,000 people in that stadium.
yeah,
But that is the loudest 18,000 motherfuckers I've ever experienced in my life. The energy just like radiated through the stadium. That shit was different. And so like I could only imagine what it's like out there for wrestling, but like that's like really the essence of it all. You know what I mean? I'm really big into like sporting events and shit like that. I like
yeah,
to, you know what I mean, experience the shits for myself. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
if I
Nah,
can go, I'm gonna go. So I mean, I'll tap in for sure. I won't
yeah,
know any
nah,
of the characters though. Like I actually know the Mexican characters a little bit, so I can
yeah.
kind of get into the storylines. I
I
won't
mean,
know shit about what's going on in
Carlitos,
Puerto Rico.
Carlitos is still out there. Carlitos is
That is
still.
true. I think Carlito's dad is the one that owns the promotion, actually.
Yeah, he does. He owns the promotion over there right now, and I mean, that's what I before I got into WWE, that's what I used to watch, and that was like
Fire.
faithfully. I used to watch straight Puerto Rico wrestling, and then once I saw the WWE and bigger stage, obviously, definitely way more crazier wrestlers, I was like, oh shit, yeah. But that next time when you go to Puerto Rico, you gotta go to the Lucha Libre in Puerto Rico because you're gonna see chairs flying. You might have to duck a little bit because you might see a trash can come your way,
I
all
believe
of
it.
that, bro. Like it's super fire. Carlito's still out there. His I think his nephew is right now the champ in the league. And bro, yeah, Lucha Libre in Puerto Rico is different, bro. And like you gonna see some shit over there for sure. But yo, stepping away from the wrestling, right? And XSL magazine and everything. You started something for the hat community that I feel also was very much needed, as well as doing like the rookies of the years and everything. I feel like this was definitely needed in the hat community. And this year they just finished. It showed a lot, and I know you spent a lot of fucking time counting. So, can you speak to us about the Hatties, bro?
Yeah, I mean the Hatties is really just an evolution of Hat of the Year for me. You know what I mean? Like I think there was a point in time. I think we did our first Hat of the Year was in 2022 for 2021.
Yeah,
Or yeah, I think that was
yeah,
it. And
yeah,
so fucking like that was just something where like we were kind of like end of the year. It was just like it feels like we could do something here. Like there's something to be done for like just like kind of what everybody's favorite hat of the year was. You know, like, it's
yeah,
just kind of like an idea that spawned, and so we did it, and it was wildly successful. The easily the most successful thing we've done in all of the hat community. You know what I mean? Like they created the most engagement. It was just something where it was like, whoa, holy shit! Like people really care about like kind of getting their recognition, huh? Like I didn't even realize how
yeah,
crazy it was before that, and so like we did that and I noticed that and I was just like, okay, I mean, we did hat of the year for a few years and then I was just like, I think Pierre had done an awards like 3 or 4 years ago where they were
yeah.
they were just kind of like giving out their own awards though. Like they kind of decided who won the awards and they were just giving out like whatever they thought was like the best
Yeah, they didn't
pack and like
incorporate the people in it. Yeah.
yeah, it was just kind of like what, but they have enough people on their fucking show to kind of vote for themselves. You know what I mean? So they kind of figured it out amongst themselves who they thought was the best and whatnot. And I was like, okay, that's dope. You know what I mean? Like, and I just kind of like started thinking about it, and I was like, yo, there's never really been like a formal like by the people for the people like hat awards vibe, you know what I mean? And legit was like, yo, like I think I said it like once and legit was like, yo, we should do that. And then like he was just like after the hat of the year was done last year, he was like, yo, what's up with like doing the hat awards? Like, you know what I mean? Let's do that shit. He kind of just put the battery in my back and I was like, I like we could try it, like just see what it's hitting for. And they
Yeah.
got an overwhelming response last year. People really fucked with the idea and it just became like another platform that we could utilize to kind of give people their flowers. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I saw Hat of the Year the whole time. It was just something where all of us were making hats at that point in 2022. You know what I mean? I think a lot of, not all of us, but a good amount of people were making hats at that point. And so
Yeah.
it was just a way for us to give people flowers. You know what I mean? There's 64 people in the bracket. And so that's just another 64 people that we can shout out. And from week to week, it was always like, oh, you didn't talk about this hat or you didn't talk about that hat. That was never really our thing. We never really set out to talk about every hat that existed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
we had a format to the show, and I tried to stick to the format. And if your hat fit into the format of the show, then dope. And if it didn't, then sorry. You know what I mean? Like we'll get to it at some point. You know what I mean? And so like that was just an opportunity for us to go back and look at everything that happened that year and give people flowers. And Hat of the Year or Hatties was just like an extension of that. And it was like, well, there's way more opportunities now for flowers. If you do 5 or 6 categories and there's 4 people in each category, you know what I mean? That's 20 to 24 people that can now also get flowers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think we kind of just did it last year and we saw damn, this is necessary. You know what I mean? I think we do things sometimes and we don't realize how necessary they are for the community until the community responds and lets you know,
Yeah.
like, yo, you should do this shit. And so then it's like, okay, well, now I got to do this shit. I'm like obligated to do this again. So we
Man,
did it again
you
this
have
year.
people up there talking about, yo, if y'all go vote for me and I end up winning, I'm gonna end up giving away every single hat that I released this year, all type of stuff, man. People were
Listen,
really advocating to get that win. They really wanted it to get the Hatties. I mean, I'll be honest, I was one of those guys that I'm like, yo, I need to get in there some way somehow. I got a little votes, you know. I got my name was mentioned in there a few times, but it wasn't enough. That's why now I'm like constantly like putting content out. I'm really making the effort because I know next year, listen, if the keep it a bean or always gonna eat is not mentioned in the hotties, bruh, I'm gonna be tight with all y'all, bruh. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm gonna be
I was
tight.
mentioned for pin creator for last year.
Start making
listen,
content then.
listen. The way I see it for real, like it's just like it's ill to me. Like I am the one that like made the shit. And the first year that we did it, I was like, damn, I feel left out. I want to be nominated for a Hattie. I started telling people like, yo, you've been nominated for 3 Hatties. And I was like, damn, I want to be nominated for a Hattie one day. You know what I mean? Like, and so like I'm the motherfucker that was running the shit and I felt that way. Like the
Yeah,
year after I was like, damn, like I wanna plant my flag in the Hatties, you know what I mean? Like, and so I've won 1 Hattie at this point, you know what I mean? Thanks
yeah,
to the main event, you know what I mean, for putting me on. I won 1/6 of a Hattie. You know what I mean? I won 1/6 of a Hattie. But like, yeah, like that's just like something that like everybody. This is something I've realized here, and I'm not gonna shun nobody for it, bro. This is everybody's creative uh energy that they're putting into this. You know what I mean? Like this is their creative output. This is their like these are their ideas. You know what I mean? This is some stuff that's really close to them. And
yeah,
so they spend time with this idea. You know what I mean? They spend time developing this idea. It takes time to mock up a hat. You know what I mean? It takes time to submit a hat, to get a hat back from New Era, to do the promo for a hat, to put the hat out, to influence people to buy the hat. You know what I mean? And so I understand wanting recognition for that because you deserve wanting recognition for that. You put a lot of work into that. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
you should want people to recognize what you got going on. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
as
Fact.
everybody should. You know what I mean? I don't think anybody should be out there like, ah, fuck that. You know what I mean? Like, I think there's a weirdness to that where like a lot of people want to feel like they don't give a fuck about it. And it's like, but if you're going to talk about it and say you don't give a fuck about it, then you kind of give a fuck about it, right? Because if you really didn't give a fuck about
Exactly.
it, you wouldn't say shit. You know what I mean? But people get on their stories and be like, oh, a lot of y'all care about whether you get acknowledged by Hat of the Year or the Hatties, but like that's corny. I don't give a fuck about that shit. If people like my hat, they like my hat. But you just wrote a whole story post about the shit. So
Yeah,
do you
facts.
care or do you not care? You know what I mean? Like, what is it
Exactly.
for real? And so everybody wants to be recognized for their work, bro. That's regular shit. You know what I mean? Like everybody wants to be recognized for the things that they're doing. And I would say like that's why the nominations are important because it's not just about fucking like actually getting a nomination or winning a Hattie. Like if anybody sits there and takes the time out to comment your name for anything, that's a beautiful thing, bro. Like people really do believe in whatever work you got going on. And so like there's
Exactly.
people that had 10, 20, 30, 40 people voting for them that didn't make a nomination, but does that make their work any less? You know what I mean? Like no, bro. They still put in work. They still have 40 motherfuckers that want to step out and show love to them. You know what I mean? And so you got to take that and run with it.
It's a
Those
lot of
40
freaking
motherfuckers
people,
could be the
bro.
niggas that take you to the next level. You feel me? Like it
That's a
starts with
lot of
40, ends
people,
up
bro.
with 80.
You put 40 people in one room, bro. That's a lot of fucking people, bro. It's a lot of
Listen,
fucking people, man. Yeah, but nah,
I was
and I
surprised
mean
at the money.
the creativity and everything. I mean, I've even reached out to you to you and AMS like, hey, bro, like I'm having creative blockage right now. Like I need some help. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like a lot of people put effort into it. Like I'm definitely one that I like to put a lot of effort into the shit that I'm doing. And bro, like the hotties to me, like seeing the hotties, I'm like, yo, this is the platform. I hope and I pray that it gets to a point to where like you have to rent out a space to where like people come up and like you dress up and you sit
I,
down and you're actually having somebody on the mic and present the awards and all of that. That's where I would love for the hotties to get to type shit.
we're gonna it's step by step incrementally try to like
Mhm.
up the ante a little bit. So like this year we did the after party afterwards. You know what I mean? People came out and enjoyed themselves afterwards, and that was cool. And
Yeah,
so
yeah,
like
that shit was
we'll try
lit.
to do something next year where maybe we'll have another like situation, but we'll go to the West Coast and we'll have different people involved. You know what I mean? And some people from the East Coast might fly out. You know what I mean? And some people from the West Coast might be centered in that. You know what I mean? But like just try to. I think something that I've like kind of gotten all of this community is that like you really got to touch the soil in different places. And so like
Yeah.
when we first started doing this shit, like the mission was to see all the communities and what they have to offer. Like we did our first drop in Chicago. I mean, we knew what was out here in New York. We wanted to see what was out there. You know what I mean? Like, and so we went to Chicago. We went to the Bay Area. We went to LA. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the only place that I feel like I haven't been yet that has a really big community that I need to touch down in. Well, there's two places actually. Is Houston and Arizona. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh
and so
yeah.
like it's just like just kind of getting to meet those people out there. You wouldn't realize how much we are connected in this shit until you touch down on the soil and you see how many people really fuck with what you got going on and you
Yeah.
see the love for real, because like the tri-state area is just like fucking, it's real crabs in the barrel. You know what I mean? Like the other places, and it's gotten that way in other places as well. You know what I mean? I'm looking at you, Chicago. You know what I mean? Get your shit together. But like I think that we can learn a lot from the other places in this community, because they're it's not like rushing the door. You know what I mean? It's not all about like reselling. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that are buying the hats for themselves. You know what I mean? There are resellers in every place, and the resellers move the needle. But
Yeah.
I think that we just like, you know what I mean, we can learn a lot from just kind of expanding and taking things to different platforms and different communities. And so I
For
hope that
sure.
we can take us to the West Coast this year and kind of see what's going on that side for sure.
I
So
definitely give a lot of respect to the Houston community. The Houston community, their
They
support
going crazy.
system, it's ridiculous, and it's not you don't see like the like what you see out here, like how people want to rush the door and then like, your fights break out, people start arguing and stuff like that. Over there, they really stay together, they get together, they have fun. After the drop is there, you see the people actually still stay in the pop up and everything. They hang out. You see all the pink creators pop up, content pops up here from all over the places. I give a lot of respect to the people in Houston. Like the people, that community over there, the high community over there is different, man. It's different.
I
I
would challenge them to put their bullshit to the side too. They got a lot of bullshit as well. You know what I mean? Like they got to put their bullshit to the side too. They are so strong as they are right now with division. You know what I mean? If they put themselves together for real, they'd be unstoppable. There would be nobody that can stop Houston in this community. You know what I mean? They'd be
yeah.
running everything for real. You know what I mean? Like, and they just need to, sometimes you just got to put them differences to the side. A lot of the shit that people be beefing over in the hack community is dumb as fuck. I'm not going to
Yeah,
hold you. It's dumb as
it'd be
fuck.
childish, super childish.
It can be safe with the conversation. A lot of people are just scared to talk to each other or just don't have the skills to talk to each other. Let me say that.
Or they just sensitive as fuck.
I mean, we
Sensitive
can
as
be
fuck.
sensitive and still talk, you know what I mean, and still come to an
Yeah,
understanding.
exactly.
You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
exactly.
so with that being said, how do you feel where the hat community is right now? Like with the stuff that's coming out, how do you feel about it?
So, you know what's crazy? Somebody asked me that exact question yesterday. Like, I think we were at a home game for Reds drop, and fucking there was somebody that was like observing us having a conversation. We were talking about, I don't even remember what we were talking about. We were talking about some shit. And like somebody was observing our conversation, like just kind of like overhearing us. Like they were like at the event, but like wasn't really like heavy in the hack community. Like
Yeah,
just kind of came out to support somebody and was just kind of like there smoking their blunt on the side and was overhearing our conversation. And I was kind of talking about like how everybody, there's space for everybody in the community. You know what I mean? Like to do what they gotta do. And there needs to be levels to all of this. And he was just like, yo, uh like he was just started asking questions about like the hack community, like, yo, what about the hack community? And he asked me like, how do you feel about the hack community? And I was like, you know, it's crazy, like I don't feel about the hack community. Like I live the hack community every day. Like there is nothing for me to feel. You know what I mean? Like there's days where I wake up and like I feel like, oh, we could be doing much better. And then so I shit on something on my story. You know what I mean? And there's days where I feel super hopeful. Like lately, I feel super hopeful. And I feel like
yeah.
Whatnot has given me that. And it's just like because
Mhm.
I'm finding I'm realizing that there's so many people out there that have no idea what this shit is. You know what I mean? They're just coming about this. They're really
Yeah,
entering their like 2020, 2021 era of like, holy shit, that's a fucking volt bottom. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's a lavender bottom. Like I've never seen that before. That's purple. You know what I mean? Like we don't have that where I'm from. And
yeah,
so I feel super hopeful these days because I think I'm kind of establishing where I want to be in this community and like how I want to approach this year in this community. And I think I've taken the stance of being more vocal and saying what's on my mind. And even if it's, a lot of people aren't gonna love it, and I'm not gonna be everybody's best friend. And if you don't actually have a conversation with me, you might dislike me. You know what I mean? Like, and but if you talk to me, you'll see that there's a method to the madness almost always. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so like I think I feel hopeful at this point, and I feel excited because a lot of the stuff that we're doing it's cultivating and it's working, and there's new energy in the community. You know what I mean? I see new things in the community. I see new battles. You know what I mean? You told me about the pin shit. I had no idea that the motherfuckers was getting this deep on this shit. You know what I mean? And so that's exciting for me because it's something that I can dive into and something that I can enjoy. You know what I mean? I am a consumer at the end of the day. I'm gonna be on the live. I'm gonna be in the comments like everybody else. I'm gonna buy the hats if I like them. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm just I haven't changed. You feel me? Like
Yeah.
getting a hat podcast doesn't really change you. Making hats doesn't really change you. I'm a fucking human being. We all bleed the same. You feel me? Like nothing's going to change in that aspect. And so like I really I'm hopeful for the hat community because I think that a stupid side of me believes that we could bury the bullshit that we have over all these years. Yeah, I mean, and come together a little bit better. I think some of it is a little bit far gone and it might not ever get there. Yeah, I mean, and that's understandable. It should be like that. But I think that as a whole, we can come closer together. Yeah, I mean, we still have time to realize that we're a very small subset of a very big world. And
Yeah.
that if we work together, we are much stronger than we are separately. You know what I mean? And so I think the people that are not in a great place with the community and don't feel good about the community and feel like the community is dying or like the community isn't where it should be or where it was, are not getting what they want out of the community.
Yeah.
And that has a lot to do with it. You know what I mean? And I think that the community has been great to me, you know what I mean? And has given so much to me. And I just want to give back as much to the community as I can. You know what I mean? Like, and so anytime I can extend myself and try my best, you know what I mean? Like, even with the whatnot, people might not understand, you know what I mean, or see it, but it's like we're clearing out a lot of people's collections, you know what I mean, like that are not wearing any of these hats or don't give a fuck about any of these hats anymore, and finding them fresh new homes for people that do care about them and will find them and are buying them under retail. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and can experience this community and buy certain
$50
hats.
for the pain section.
Listen, those are hats that a lot of people know were going for $200-$300 at one point. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so like the opportunity to go back and buy a Rushmore that was on sale 3 years ago for $50 right now is unheard of. You know what I mean? A lot of people wouldn't even do that for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like just like trying to extend and bring people in, you know what I mean? Like as best as we can. But I feel great about it, honestly. But I don't think about like how I feel about it as much. I just live it. You know what I mean? Like we just wake up and we get to it. And it's like, you know what I mean? Some days are great and some days aren't great, but we keep pushing. You know what I mean?
Like
shit
you,
is gonna
like you
go.
say, you still a consumer at the end of the day. Like even though you have creator, you have your show and everything, you still consume this
Oh, I
space.
genuinely get mad when I see a bad hat. You feel me? Like that's my real reaction on those videos. You know what I mean? I'm genuinely upset that somebody made that bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I feel
Yeah.
like we should be doing better. So.
Yeah, no, facts. Love to see it.
It's crazy because April 21st makes I'll be a year in this community.
You know the exact day. So
yeah,
how did you come into the community? I'm sorry,
yeah,
now I'm taking over the interview.
No, that's how I got into it. So I worked with Jay at Pro Image.
Okay.
And he was telling me about like pins.
So you didn't know that there was a fitted community. You were just working at a hat store.
Bro, I was just buying GR hats, just regular schmegler, you know, whatever.
It was hurting my soul.
And then like he'll come into work and I'm like, yo, he has like jewelry on a hat. I'm like, what is this? You know, so I'm looking at him and I'm like damn, like that's dope. Like I love self-expression. And so he's telling me about it, and I had something that he was interested in. So I handed him a few bear bricks. He handed me a few pins, and it just snowballed. It just snowballed into it. And you know, I decided to take like a little gamble on myself. I took a little $250 investment.
He said
and
a few.
I started my pins. Yeah, I gave him that whole board for his birthday.
That's crazy.
So I have to give all the credit and the flowers to Jay because he told me about this and he was telling me with such passion. Like he was telling me about the battles, like the AMS, like the pin wars and stuff like that. The way he was explaining it, it sounded illegal. Like I was like, I don't know if I should know about this, but the passion behind it, I was like, damn, like this shit's dope, bro. Like I could see myself in this. So I made my first pin, you know, and then he was like, yo, this pin battle's going on, or actually it was Fitted Crowns doing combo battles. And I'm like, he's like, bro, you have like weird sneakers. I think you'll be good in this. I took a gamble. I got cooked, you know, but it was
be like
fun.
that.
It was fun, you know, and then we started to Keep It a Bean. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to put myself out there, not for myself, but for us. So I would join pin battles, and I was like, damn, I'm actually kind of
Good at
decent with it, you know. So I was like, all right, and then that's how we, you know, cascaded throughout the year, and coming up on that date, April 21st, I'll have 30 official drops in this community and 3 hats under my belt. So
listen, you need to cut. They need to cut you a cake on the episode. First of all, you know what I mean, and second of all, that's beautiful, bro, because you did exactly what everybody should do in the hack community. Somebody brought you into the game. You know what I mean? They showed you their passion. You know what I mean? You took that, you internalized it, and you gave it back to everybody else. You know what I mean? And now you are also doing what he's doing. You know what I mean? Like with the podcast, you guys are spreading the good word of the hack community. You might not understand that, you know what I mean, or realize that, or see it every day.
I always tell these guys, well, we have like our own little chat, and I'm like, bro, we got to inspire people like we were once inspired. I love that quote, and it resonates so much with me because we all have something that we want to say or something that we want to show. So this is the best way to do it. Is just create it and put it out there. You take a gamble. It's not going to be for everybody. It's not, you know, and that's something that you got to accept. But there will be people that like, yo, he really made that. Like, I need that, you know, and that's the best feeling about it. You know, like, yeah, we put a price tag on a hat. We put a price tag on a pin. But at the end of the day, it's somebody's art that's fucking priceless.
Now, mind you, he's been in he hasn't made a full year yet, right?
How did he get the AMS braids if he hasn't been here for a year?
That's exactly what I was gonna mention.
Okay.
I got plugs.
That's how
that shit came out in like 2023 or some shit.
That's how DP's in it, bro.
Yeah. Like AMS, I've done a collab with AMS.
Fire.
So I've done a collab with Tommy. I've done a collab with Riot. I've done a collab with a bunch of people. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen or heard of AO pins. That's me. Okay. That's me, you know? So, and I would extend that. I extended that to Saucy too. Saucy, we have something pending. I have another one pending with Tommy Lee. You know, if you want to create something with your boy, you know, you let me know, and it's all expense paid on me. And, you know, I'd even give one away, like a few of them to you, so that way you could give them away on the Whatnot stream, you know? So
fire.
Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about bringing everybody together, man. I just love this. I just love creating.
Hey, I did mention to him, I was like, if you wear that hat, Yesus is very knowledgeable, and he's gonna recognize that hat right away.
Because when I got it, he was like, "Yo, it's an AMS hat." I'm like, "You don't gotta say no more. Like, it's not even my exact size. It's a 5'8". I wear half. I'll make it work." So
that's the OG days. That's when AMS took the gamble to go into Pro Image. He did the Braves. He did the Mets. He did the Angels in that pack.
Yeah. Yes, sir. A lot of classic hats came from that partnership. You know what I mean? If they would have fucking had their business in order before he got over there, he might still be doing hats over there. Not gonna hold you. They just kind of, they was a little bit fucked up before he got over there. You know what I mean? Like, and so he could only do so much to save it. He did a great job, but you know what I mean? Couldn't save it.
He did great. Because then after that, he had the Seattle, he did the Seattle Mariners job, right? The tonal one.
There was a lot of good hats that came from that. There was the Expos, the Expo with the baby blue with the gradient.
The gradient. That one yesterday. That shit is crazy.
I forgot that hat ever existed. Somebody fucking bought that. I think Cop Shop bought it for his Whatnot stream off of somebody, and I was like, that. At first I thought it was a My Fitness hat. Now I thought about it, and I was like, that's fucking AMS's Expo. That shit hard.
Yeah, one of the originals gradients out there, you know, for before the whole gradient thing started happening now, because we seeing a lot of people play with the colors and be more experimental when it comes to like coloring hats and everything like that. AMS definitely was like taking chances, and people was popping out, bro.
He's
like,
an experimenter for sure. Yeah,
I know Tommy Lee drove from Boston.
Bro, there was, and that Pro Image is in the middle of fucking West Bubblefuck. That was really like a fucking social experiment on the hack community to get motherfuckers to go out there. Like, it was really, that shit is really far. You know what I mean? And we had PPJ out there for the Angels drop, for the first drop. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's legendary. Listen, that was the day. I'll give you like a little tidbit. Like, I'm not gonna hold you, but I know like PPJ and Kuda had their situation before that, but that was the first day I ever heard of Kuda Montana. You know what I mean? And PBJ is the person that put me on, because him and Chuck was going at it. Chuck was in the car with us, and they was fucking arguing on IG or some shit. And PBJ was like, "Yo, he's good people." It's like, you know what I mean? Like, he's good money. You know what I mean? So, yeah. You see how the community moves.
Yeah, man. Good times. But yeah, bro. as we come into to a close, right? I want to ask you a question, right? Because obviously, we aren't to be liked by everybody and anything, right? But we all learn from like the mistakes that we have had. Like, what do you feel like something that you feel like it was like a mistake, or like something that you wish you could take back that helped you move forward and be a better voice in the community?
Huh. Something I could take back.
That you
Shit, I
did, that
stand.
you took it and you was like, you know what, I'm gonna do better in this, to be that, to continue to be that voice.
Shit, I stand on all the shit I ever done in this community. I'm not gonna hold you. I feel like I'm one of the few motherfuckers that ever, like, I never tried to play it sugarcoated with anybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never gave love that I didn't feel was warranted. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people have tried to force things onto me, and I said no. You know what I mean? Like, and so like yeah, I don't think that there's anything necessarily I would take back. It all kind of led to this situation now. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
think I have learned a lot. You know what I mean? I've learned about like kind of how you should frame talking about certain people. You know what I mean? Before you've had a conversation with them, I think you should try to have a conversation with people before you speak on them in public. I think a lot of people tend to just go out of their way to speak on people without ever trying to speak to them, and so
Mm,
that can be an issue sometimes. And so I've definitely stepped out of myself at times, you know what I mean, to say what I thought was on my mind in the middle of a podcast, and then like fucking had to have a conversation as a result of it later on in the time.
yeah.
And I stood on what I said, you know what I mean? It is what it is, but I feel like that is something you can learn from, just kind of like how you speak on the things that are going on, because people are very sensitive about their work. You know what I mean? I'm learning with this weekly walkthrough thing, even, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people love it, and a lot of people are waiting for the day that they can get some good things said about them. You feel me? It's just like, damn, you keep shitting on me. Like, what's going on? You know what I mean? And it's like,
Yeah.
it's totally nothing personal. Like, I'm just one guy stating my opinion. You know what I mean? And I feel like just because people like to hear it sometimes, or like to take bring credence to it, doesn't mean that I'm the end all be all opinion. Like, what I like is very specific, and there's a whole different side of the community that likes a bunch of different shit that I don't like. And so
Yeah.
I would say I would say remembering that everybody's going through their own shit. You know what I mean? And so like I've had a lot of conversations with people that started off on the wrong foot and ended up going well, because I just kind of didn't understand where they were coming from at first. You know what I mean? Like, and once you kind of have a conversation with somebody, and that's one thing I will say. Like, I will hope that there are more conversations to be had in the community moving forward, because there's so much to learn from each other, and to like kind of just like share with each other, you know what I mean? And we are our own teachers, you know what I mean? And so like I try to embrace the conversations, you know what I mean? I've had a lot of good long conversations about the hack community this year already, and we're only in March, you know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
like I think I'm one of those people that a lot of people feel like they don't want to bother, or they can't always reach out to, but like I'm super accessible, you know what I mean? Like I totally answer messages, you know what I mean? I totally will talk to a motherfucker if they have some credence in what they're saying, you know what I mean? And so like I'm here for all the talks. You know what I mean? I'm here for if anybody ever needed any kind of advice for some reason in this and felt like I was the person to give it to them. Like, I'm totally here for shit like that. You know what I mean? I just want to spread the good word of the hack community, as I say, and push this shit forward. You know what I mean? If we can push this shit a little bit further than it was yesterday, we doing good, you know what I mean? And just full steam ahead. And so yeah, I've learned to just to think about what other people are going through, and to try to be sensitive to that. Let's just use that word, since we were talking about sensitivity. I'll try to be sensitive to what people are going through, and
Yeah.
understand that everybody has their own life, bro. Everybody got their
Yeah.
own set of shit going on. This is supposed to be, at the end of the day, an escape for us. And I think when I found this community, I found it through a lot of people that were going through bad shit in their life and were doing bad shit their whole life, and then
Yeah.
finally found an outlet of like, oh shit, I don't gotta be on the streets no more. You know what I mean? Like, a lot
Facts.
of people left the streets to make money in hats, bro. And I will never lose
Facts.
sight of that. You know what I mean? And I hope they never lose sight of that as well. You know what I mean? Because this has been such a source of positivity, that even when it can be negative, we just gotta harken back to that positivity. You know what I mean? And keep that at the center of this all, and we'll be all right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So when it's all said and done, Jesus, how does Jesus wants to be remembered? I don't want to put your government. I was gonna say your government, but I ain't gonna put your government. But when it's all said and done, how does
Listen,
Jesus want to be remembered?
I'm so Googleable, bro. Jonathan Candelaria, like I'm really out there. I was a writer. You know what I
Hey,
mean?
we had the same name.
There you go. You know what I mean? I'm a writer. You know what I mean? I've done my fair share of journalism. I didn't just hop
Hmm.
into a podcast. You know what I mean? I was a journalism student. You know what I mean? I've written for sports. You know what I mean? I've written sports for Mezcla. You know what I mean? Like you can find me there. You know what I mean? I got articles out there. I wrote for the Bronx Journal. You know what I mean? I'm a real person. Like I ain't no
Yeah.
fucking there's no a lot of people know my fucking government. You know, a lot of people have sent me shit in life. You feel me? Like a lot of
Yeah.
motherfuckers have sent me hats and pins. They know what's going on. I
Yeah.
I am who I am. You know what I mean? Um I just want to be remembered as a real person, brother. Like somebody that spoke their mind, you know what I mean? Like somebody that was authentic, you know what I mean? Like that just was themselves, you know what I mean? And didn't pull any punches, you know what I mean? And was passionate about what they did and created every step of the way, you know what I mean? Like and yeah, I think about that a lot. I'm not gonna hold you. I think I try to live my life in a way that like if I was to die tomorrow, like I have some kind of positive impact on the people that I've crossed in my time. You know what I mean? So I have
Yeah.
visions of like when I die, you know what I mean? I hope that there's a lot of people on gathering, whether it be in person, at a funeral, on Instagram, wherever it is, to share
Yeah.
stories about that one time that they hit me up and I said something positive or something good to them. You know what I mean? I want to be remembered as a positive influence and force in this because I wasn't always positive in my life. You know what I mean? Like it took
Yeah.
a long road, a long hard road to get here, you know what I mean? Like and so I'm just trying to spread the good vibes, you know what I mean? Like and I just want to be remembered in that way, you know what I mean? Like just somebody that was always like lively and always brought some life to shit, you know what I mean? Like and that's really it,
Yeah.
bro. Like
Yeah, bro. And I would say, man, I'll stand right here and tell you, bro, thank you for everything that you have done in this community, bro. Because definitely, again, you are one of those guys that has helped build the community that we have today. Not only from battle scene to events to hat drops to uh everything, music, like you said, journalism and everything, bro. You have definitely put a stamp on here, and on my end, you're up there. You're up there, my guy, and I hope you continue to flourish, and I want to see the hotties be something that you can never even imagine, and I hope that everything continues to flourish for you. You are definitely a person to admire and get inspiration from as you continue to elevate in everything that you are doing, and it's very much appreciated. I know we are not all to be liked by everybody, but if, like you said, if they can understand where we're coming from and just have a civil conversation, it'll be a much better world. So I want to say thank you, brother, for everything that you have brought to the table and continue to push forward.
likewise, man, I'm happy to see you guys doing this. You know what I mean? I think it's really important that there are other platforms out there. I think it's important that everybody kind of puts their own stamp on it and does it their own way. You know what I mean? And kind of finds their own footing here because we're all just ambassadors to the hack community at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like whoever you know in your personal lives, you are just their personal ambassador. Like at one point it was you for ills. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and so like that's just another kind of like how the wheel turns. You know what I mean? And I'm sure Robster experiences this a lot because it's a very small community where he's from, and so like everybody knows him as probably the fitted guy where he's at. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
you're going to be the fitted guy, bro. And so wear that badge with honor. You know what I mean? Like and
Definitely.
fucking and plant that flag and
Without a
wave that
doubt.
flag every day. You know what I mean? Like and we out here. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? Like y'all doing it for sure. You know what I mean? So thank you
Thank you, bro.
guys for continuing it forward because without this happening, then like we really don't have a community. If nobody feels passionate enough to want to make content about it, to want to talk about it, to want to bring people up and tell stories, then we lose those stories. We don't have history if we don't tell it. You know what I mean? Like, and so it's important to like, you know what I mean, put your best foot forward on that end, and y'all doing it. You know what I mean? So appreciate y'all as well.
Thank you, brother. But yeah, fellas, y'all got any words for Yesus?
Go ahead, Rob.
So, for my words, obviously not going to repeat everything Jay has said, but it was my first proper introduction into looking at Hat of the Year. You know, when you guys organised it, and it was really interesting to see how you organized it. I can't imagine that was easy in any way, shape, or form, especially with just by posting the stories, let alone just do you know when post so many stories, like the little white box is like that big, and then it's just having to go through it. I can't imagine how long that took. But absolutely cool. It was really interesting to see. And yeah, I look forward to seeing more what Off the Dome Pod does. And yeah, everything is just, as a Europe UK collector, it's everything new that I get introduced to. I absolutely love and absorb it. So yeah, again, thank you for everything, and look forward to seeing more what you do.
Awesome, brother. Love the passion. You feel me? Like, I hope that your community grows great enough that we can like get at least 36 motherfuckers out there, drop an F and F or some shit. You know what I mean? Get a little UK drop going. You know what I mean? All you need is 36 people, bro. You got 6. You just need 30 more. You know what I mean?
Well, we're doing it. We're doing it. So I'm currently wearing a hat from Catmaster Flash. This is one of his FNFs, and I do have an FNF in the works.
Is that your first hat?
Yeah, it will be. It will be.
Congratulations,
I just need to get it all organized and decide what one I want to do, because I've just been experimenting with mock-ups at the moment. So
no, your first one is always it's a project, because it feels like the one thing that's going to represent you to start. You know what I mean? It's
exactly.
Like, what do I make the first one? Like it's gonna rack your brain for the whole time. You know what I mean? Until it actually happens and you get it out of the way. But congratulations, that's a beautiful thing, bro. You know what I mean? Like,
thank you.
I never lose sight of the fact, and I try to tell people this all the time. Like, when I was younger, because like I said, I've been loved hats since I was a kid. You know what I mean? And so, like, if you could have told me at fucking 9 or 10 years old, sitting in James' shoe store on 204, staring at the big hat wall, trying to pick what I was going to take for the day, that I was going to be able to make something that'll go on a hat wall one day that somebody can buy with their own money, like a Yankee hat. Like, I can make my own Yankee hat with my own colors. I would have never believed you, brother. This is beyond my wildest imagination. You know what I mean? So never lose sight of how blessed we are as a community to be able to have this opportunity. And yeah, just put your best foot forward. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you as well. Jay put me on to everybody. Jay put me in these rooms that I could actually have a conversation, like this, and let a bunch of other people to see. I tell everybody I'm shy. I am very shy, especially as like, I don't want to say nothing stupid, but I'm trying to put myself more out there, not only for myself, but for our, the podcast, for the community. I want to be somewhat of a pillar for everybody. I try to give people opportunities with pins and stuff like that. And yeah, it's definitely no easy task when you make your first hat. This was my first one. This is a Merrick that I did. And yeah, my patch didn't get approved. I had the Miller Park, because it looked like the Millennium Eye that's on like Merrick.
Okay.
So we went with this one because it looks, when you tilt it this way, it looks like the Millennium Rod,
Listen, I don't know shit about anime, but it's a nice hat though.
Yeah. And then like we did like the baddie all gold, because he goes into the Yu-Gi-Oh monster and he's all gold and stuff like that. But definitely nerve-wracking to like do this and to get people to understand what you do, and it's definitely dope that, we have somebody like you that would definitely, give people their flowers, their props, just the love in general, because that's honestly what some people need, and that's exactly what I'm going to keep doing,
Yeah. I love that, bro, for sure. You know what I mean? You just, like I said, you're just paying it forward for what bro did for you. You know what I mean? Like, he put you on, like, you got to put other people on. Y'all doing the job, bro. Y'all doing the job. And I love it. You know what I mean? Like, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate y'all so much. You know what I mean? Thank you for finding me to be worthy enough to have a conversation with. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Oh, come on, man. It was a must. It was a must. I had to have you. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna use your words.
You know what I mean? If you ever want to have me back, I'm one call away. You know what I mean? It's not hard. It's not hard to access me. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna use your word. I'm not gonna hold you. I was a little nervous to like hit you up and like I get a like, nah, nigga, like I'm good, bro. I'm too busy type shit. You feel me? But I was like, after actually meeting you in person and having real conversation, after we signed the poster, I had a conversation with you there. But after the after party and everything, and I actually got to have a real, I was like, oh yeah, I'm having Yesus on the show for sure, 1000%. He's gonna come on the show. He's gonna come on the show. But
listen, I'm a busy motherfucker. That is facts. You know what I mean? I definitely have a lot of shit going on in my life. I will not lie about that. Like, I put a lot on my plate. But if I can make it work I definitely will. And I just so happen to like be able to make this work. Sunday is a relatively easy day for me, even though I'm not gonna hold you. I got off work at 7:30 a.m. You know what I mean? And
Wow.
so this would be it's 2:30 now. You know what I mean? I took like a little 2 hour nap, you know what I mean? Like and topped
Yeah.
out. So like if I can
Thank you.
make it, I will make it happen. You know what I mean? Like for sure. I've been trying to fuck with caps and curves balls. They on Thursdays. That shit is tough for me. You know what I mean? I really be like in the thick of work. But I listen, I try to do what I can for the community. Even Saucy brought back Digging in Duffel. I'm gonna take off a day just to go on Digging in Duffel so I can show my bro some love because, like, you know what I mean? That's what the community is about. So if I can make it work, I promise I will, y'all. You know what I mean?
Hell
Like,
yeah.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. But yeah, brother, thank you for coming on the show, man. This episode was definitely I hope a lot of people got a lot of information and learned a lot of things about you that they didn't know. They're like, especially with the music and stuff. So if y'all want, yo, go on Apple Music. They still got their music on Apple Music. Go on SoundCloud. You feel me? The music is still up there.
go on
B.I.C.
YouTube.
bitches.
You can have some real fun on YouTube. I'm not gonna hold you. Go on YouTube. You know what I mean? B.I.C. bitches is crazy.
Wait,
That shit
and
is
just for the record, what was the music group called?
B.I.C. bitches is crazy.
You heard
There
it.
you go. You know what I mean?
You
So
feel
yeah,
me? So
YouTube is really the adventure that you can go down. You know what I mean? A lot of people be like, "Yo, what was you doing before?" Yeah, that's what I was doing before hats. It's a lot. It's a lot.
yeah, man. So, but thank you, brother. Thank you for coming on the show. This was a great episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as we did. And yeah, this is the Keep It a Bean podcast, baby. We're gonna keep bringing y'all great people on the show, and y'all gonna learn some more stuff about amazing people in this community and how beautiful the community actually is, aside the bullshit. You feel me? And yeah, thank y'all for being on here. Y'all already know. Hey, Bean 15, get 50% off on Crown Clean. Y'all already know. It's always gonna eat. Got Ills, got Rob, and Yesus in the building, baby.
Appreciate y'all.
Peace.